All right. So, like I said, this conversation is personal to me because of, having that experience of training people, mentoring people. And I see how, some people finish this same training and then you notice that they started to do well for themselves pretty early. And then some other persons finish the training and then they are struggling. And then some of these persons, when I ask them and I say, "Oh, hi, what's up? What is happening with you?" When I call them and I ask them, "What is happening with you? What is happening?" And then some of them start to share with me what's happening. And I noticed a trend. Many people are not still doing, in short, none of the persons that I've spoken to, right? And this is like almost, say, like almost 100 persons. None of the persons I've spoken to none of them is doing the right thing. That's my point. None of them is doing the right thing. All of them are doing something, but none of them is doing the right things. So at the end of the day, now they are lamenting, they are complaining. I'm not getting a job. I'm not getting this one. But at the end of the day, they are the ones not taking certain steps. But then they will now come back with that feedback of, "Oh, there's no job opportunities. Oh, and they are giving me rejection." And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And so I recently asked somebody, and the person was like, "Oh, she has just been applying randomly to all the jobs that she sees on LinkedIn." And I'm like, why would you apply randomly to all the jobs that you see on LinkedIn? That's like you betting. That's like betting. If you just go on LinkedIn and be sending job applications, you are betting. You're not applying. You are playing tete. And anybody that knows what betting is not guaranteed. You will not get a job easily that way. Right? So, but like I said, I want to make this conversation a little bit more. We are all product managers, so I'm going to make it user focused, right? So I planned a research that I'm going to carry out in the course of this session, right? A research, but the research is going to be anonymous, and all of us are going to look at the results together, because I think, so that I am also not just using my bias from the conversations I've held with almost 100 persons on this conversation of not getting a job, but let me also use like real time conversations with you guys on this call, right? Let's just use real time conversation. So I have a research that I want us to do. I'm going to send a form link to you guys now. I want us to fill a particular form. Right? I'm going to send the form link to you guys right now. I want us to fill a particular form. It's an important questionnaire. So I'm going to send the link. I'm going to give us about 5 to 10 minutes might be too much. Maybe like 5 minutes to complete this particular form, right? So don't worry, the form is anonymous. So no name, nothing, no name, no, right? All I just want to see is I have about 8 or 9 questions, and I want everybody here. We have over 40 persons on the call. I want you all to fill this form. Let's do that first. We are product managers. I'm sure you understand the importance of user research. So I just sent a form to the chat. I want you to fill the form, and I'm going to be looking at the data at the back end. I'll give us about, let's just say 5-6 minutes, right, to complete that form. Everybody check the chat. We are over 40 persons on this call. Check the chat. I just dropped the link to that particular form. I asked about 8 or 9 questions thereabouts, right here. And don't worry, no names, no emails. So I'm not going to have anybody's name or email. I just want to see I want to be able to look at the data in real time, and that will help me to channel my conversation as well. Because yes, I have some things I want to talk about. However, your feedback that you guys are going to give me right now on this call will be instrumental to also helping me to shape the train of my conversation. So if you're already on that link, let me give us about another, again, I'll say 5 to 6 minutes. Let me redrop the link again for those who are just joining. Everybody fill this form right now. Let's do that. And please fill the form truthfully from your personal experience, especially for you guys that are, even if you've not been looking for a product manager job, still fill the form, right? Even if you are still in training, still fill the form. I just want to have as much data points or data source as possible. I've shared the link again. So fill that form, and please try to be as honest. Try to be as honest. No, not try to be honest. Say it as it is in the form. I don't have your name, I don't have your data there. So just say it as it is in the form, right? Right here. So maybe I should just keep quiet for like 5 minutes and allow you guys complete the form. So favor, please take notes. If anybody joins, just resend the form link again. If anybody joins, resend the form link. All of us are going to look at the data. I will share with, I'll be sharing the back end of that form as you guys are filling it. I'll be sharing the data instantly so that we can all look at it together and we can then start to ask ourselves, let's use that data to drive our conversation. So I'll just mute myself for like 5 minutes, complete that particular form. All right, I can see the feedbacks already dropping in. I have 2 responses already. Okay, so we'll be looking at the responses together. I have 2 responses. I'm expecting 40 responses in total. So please, everybody should engage. I'm expecting 40 responses in total. Like I always say in training, you need at least 40 persons to give you feedback for you to know that your idea is valid. So we have 49 people on the call. So I'm expecting at least 40 responses. So let me just mute myself so that you guys, I have 2. So we are waiting for 38 more. Okay, let's keep the feedback coming. That is 14 responses. We have 26 more to go. Quickly fill the form. 14 responses. We have 26 more. 15, 25 more. Just in case any new person is just joining in, favor, help me resend that link again to the chat. All right, so we have 27 responses. We are left with 23 more to go. Is it 23? No, 13, 12. 12 more to go, 28 responses. So just please be patient. Let's allow others to fill in the form. We have 12 more responses to go to make it 40. Okay, let me just wait. Let me wait before I start to analyze the data so that all of us can be looking at it together. We are all Kuku product managers. Okay. I can never turn back. Oh, no, no. It's already too late. So no, no. Okay. Waiting for more responses. If you have not completed that form, please fill the form. For those who are just joining in, we're trying to collect data around this old job search thingy. We're waiting. Even if you've not started to apply for jobs, just if fill the form. There are some questions that would matter for you as well, even if you're just starting out your career. That's why I also try not to make the questions. I tried not to make the questions too product management focused. It can actually be applied to non-product management, right? So let's keep it coming. $29. We have 11 more. Who are the 11 persons who have not filled the form? Waiting. We need 40 people at least to make sure that this data is on point so that we can analyze together. Okay. Quite a number of people. Okay. Not a number of people have been in interviews. After receiving rejection, may you reach back? Most people no. Some people yes. Some people sometimes. What are the biggest challenges? Okay. Biggest challenge during interviews. Confidence. I get tensed. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, 30. We have 10 more. 10 more. No turning back. 10 more. Who are the 10 persons here that have not filled this form? And if you are filling it, just please move quickly while filling it. All right, we're waiting so that we can have this conversation up and running. Okay, how many do we have left now? Okay, we have 6 left. 6 left. Who are the amazing 6 persons left? 6 persons. Let's do this so that we're all PMs. We'll now be looking at the data together. Okay. Okay, so how many do we have left? We are waiting for the 6 persons. 6 persons. Kindly speed up. Thank you to everyone who has completed the form. We're going to sit down and look at it together. right? So that at least we're going to be data driven together. Um, all right, so what's our number left? 5. Oh yeah, we've spent about what? We started in like 5:25. We're already 12, 30 minutes over time. 12, 30 minutes over time. All right, I'm waiting. I need 40 responses. I need 40. I need 40 responses. 40 responses. I'm sure anybody that learns product management at Enoverlab knows that principle of 40. So I'm sure you know the importance of having at least 40 responses for you to validate your data. So, oh yeah, I'm waiting. 5 more persons, quickly. But I'll start to review. Let me just start to review, but I still want the 40 to be completed. So can you all see my screen? Drop an emoji if you can see my screen. Drop an emoji if you can see my screen. So I'm sharing the Google Form data backend. I'll be using backend, I'm going to call it now. All right, so let's look at it together, right? So we have people who have been looking for jobs 1 month, 1 year, 2 year plus, 3 months, 8 months, a year, few months, not been looking yet, 6 months, right? If I want to sort of open each one individually, right? So let me do individual. Okay, let me open the spreadsheets so I can see it in a more spreadsheet format. Okay, so got it. So I can see quite a number, not yet, waiting to complete internship, 8 months, right? Few months, 1 year. So it's quite a broad range of, I have quite a number of 1 year persons, 2 months, a year, 2 years plus. Wow, somebody is looking for a role for 2 years. Okay, awesome. This is a wide range of data sets to work with, right? So let's come back here. Summary. Let me just look at the summary. Now, where have we been applying for jobs? A lot of people, LinkedIn, Twitter, 4 persons, 31 persons, LinkedIn, Twitter, 15 persons job site like Well Found, Flex Jobs, etc. 9 persons community group, 13 persons network of friends, somebody, 2 persons from Mentor, another person from Mentor. What type of companies have you been applying to? 19 persons choose Nigerian startups, 14 persons foreign startups, Nigerian growth stage, foreign growth stage, foreign big techs, Nigerian big techs, none. Okay. How many quality applications have you done? I'm going to explain what I mean by quality, but I want to assume that you guys understand what I mean by quality, but I'll also explain. Between January 1 to May 31st, 2025, 5, 2, 1. This person that said 12, are you sure? 12 quality applications? 10, 30. I doubt all your 30 applications are quality. Anyway, the person that feels 30, I doubt. 20, 30, that's like you're doing what? You're doing give and take. Quality applications, you're doing roughly what? 5 months, 6 quality applications every month. Okay. Don't let me say I doubt, but 30 is quite a lot. 30, 40. Quality applications is not just you sending to a company but you have aligned you're not just applying. Okay, I will explain. Don't let me jump the gun. I will explain. I can see quite. I can't remember. I can't really say much. Okay, about 100. Ha, I was still thinking 30 is much. The person that applied to about 100 jobs in 5 months, I can bet you that it's not quality applications. I can bet you it's not quality applications. If you apply to 100 jobs in 5 months, January 1 to May 31st, I can tell you emphatically that it's not quality applications. I know you might want to argue with me, but I will tell you why as we go on. How many interviews have you attended in the last 5 months? 0. Somebody 10 interviews. Okay, that looks fair. One int over. Okay, well, let me see here. So how many interviews have you applied for? Have you attended? So interviews is like you've attended. None. More than 8, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So we have quite a number of persons not even getting into the interviews. Now, this person that applied to 100 jobs, let's look at it together. The person that did about 100, where is that about 100 jobs now? I can't find the about 100. Okay, about 100. Now, look at this. The person that applied to about 100 jobs have only attended 2 interviews. That's just to validate my point of you applied to about 100 jobs in 5 months, but you've only done 2 interviews in 5 months. That's a validation that most of your applications were not quality applications. Now, the person that did 20 quality applications but has not gotten any interview in 5 months, that is already like giving us a signal. It's either you're applying to the wrong companies or your approach to application is messed up. 30 applications. Now, this person's zone is quite good. You've done 30 applications in the last 5 months and you've gotten into 10 interviews. I think you are doing well for the person who filled this. 30 applications, 10 interviews, that's about 30% conversion, meaning 30 companies you applied to, over 10 of them. I wish you could have been more specific, like the specific, but let me just use your 10. So that's about 30% of your applications convert into interviews. That's a good conversion rate. I don't think you can have, yes, that's a good conversion rate. Obviously, there are better conversion rates, but that's a relatively good conversion rate. So this person too is also quite good. 5 applications and then 3 job interviews. So that's almost like 80% conversion. But the number of applications, maybe it's because it's quality applications. So that makes it a little bit interesting. So let's go up. Applications, no interview. 50 applications, 3 interview. 12 applications, none. 25 applications, interview. 5 applications, 3 interview. So we can number of interviews significantly drops down, right? Can we all see that number of interviews that people attend actually significantly drops down in comparison to, at least if we use those that are applications to judge, right? Comparison to the amount of interviews that they got, right? Mic check. Can you hear me? Just for me to be sure. Can you hear me? Drop an emoji if you can. Okay, all right. So we're looking at the data together. So let's move forward. So number of interviews drop. Now let's look at how many stages of interview do you usually. That was our question. How many stages of interview do you usually go through before rejection? Right. So 1 stage not applicable. You've never 2 stages, 3 stages, 2 stages, 1 stages. Okay. 2 stages, 2 stages, 2 stages, 1 stages, 1 stages, 4 stages. Okay. 1 stage, 2 stage, 1 stage. So I think the average is 2 stages of interview. But those who get through the interview, then they eventually get like rejections. Now that's another kind of conversation that we need to have. If you got through and then got to 2 stages of interview, then something must have been up somewhere. Right? And then for this, after receiving rejection, do you usually reach back? Right? Most people said no. Right? Which obviously we are going to talk about that. Then what is your biggest challenge when searching for job match with years of experience? By the way, I will tell you emphatically, years of experience is not your biggest challenge. or years of experience is a wrong way to look at challenge. But I'll come to that as well. Lack of experience. Lack of experience is not your challenge. That's the truth. Lack of experience is not your challenge. I know people use that, people say that a lot, but lack of experience is not the challenge. Not knowing what sector to focus in, getting snubbed, not being sure, lack of experience, okay, not sure, nothing, waiting for I lose motivation after reviewing, searching for fully remote jobs. Majority, I see a hybrid. One of the biggest challenges I face is not hearing back. Okay, all right. So I think I have enough data sets to work with. Right now, I can see some things. We are 37 in. Right. So let me come back here and I'll just use it to move into my conversation with us today. Now, I can already see some trends, which I'm not particularly surprised because, again, these are things that I have had in personal conversations with people, right? But just to look at the broad overall data, right? Most people, on average, 2 stages of interview is what most people get into. Most people don't reach back after rejections. Okay, all right, awesome, awesome. Awesome. Let's go into our slide. I don't want to do too much talk for the sake of those who might be, you know, I said I didn't want to do too much slide, but again, I just felt okay, let me just do a slide for the sake of conversation so that it makes our conversation a little bit more smooth. Right. Okay, so let me share. Where is that slide now? A number of things I'm going to talk about to even be outside of this slide, right? A number of things I'll talk about to be outside of the slide. But let's do this. So I'm connected to my internet here. So let me remove this guy.
We can't hear you, Banji. Your mic is muted.
Your mic is muted.
Okay, mic check. Drop an emoji if you can hear me. I want to be sure. Drop an emoji if you can hear me. Okay. All right. So I just switched my internet. So, okay, let's talk. Now, why are you not getting a product manager job? Let's have that discussion. It's a very important conversation. From the data that we've done, from the research that we just finished, right? From the research that we just finished, it shows that we have some lapses, right? And for those who have not started applying, obviously that's a lot of things for you to figure out and see how you want to learn from. So let's talk about it. Why are you not getting a job, right? You know, the funny thing is that I will always say and show that there are always opportunities. There's always work opportunities. There's always job opportunities available, right? The challenge is not lack of opportunities, like I posted on my WhatsApp status recently. The problem is, I would say, lack of capacity, lack of tenacity, and lack of resilience. So, but I'll still share some peculiar stuff. But let me just write this here. Lack of capacity. Many people don't have enough skill sets, right? Lack of tenacity, right? And then lack of, let's put that lack of resilience. Let me just put this here, right? So just hold that. And I'll talk about it in a bit. So first thing foremost is, I still went to check LinkedIn, right? Just before this particular conversation. I still went to check LinkedIn before this conversation. And just like I always recommend, when you look at the broad LinkedIn algorithm, you see that there are job opportunities. Now, obviously, it's not all the job opportunities you can apply for, which is normal, right? But it's just, every time I see it, it's like a confirmation that, oh, there is opportunities, right? Every time I see it, it's a confirmation that there is opportunities. So for example, I just opened my LinkedIn again, right? And what I did was to even narrow it down, right? Product manager job opportunities that are available worldwide. And I didn't just put it everywhere, right? I narrowed it down to this past week. And we have over 10,000 job opportunities that was posted on LinkedIn this past week. That's this last 7 days. Not product manager jobs, right? Again, when I show you on the slide, it's about 40,000 jobs if you open it up. But just this last 7 days, over 10,000 jobs are here. Obviously, is it all the 10,000 jobs you can apply for? No. Obviously, you should not apply to all the 10,000 jobs. Some jobs will suit you. Some jobs will suit Elizabeth. Some jobs will suit Chukuma. Some jobs will suit Opanachi. Again, we all cannot apply to the same jobs. But it still does not remove the fact that the opportunities are there. And that's where I like to always start from. The opportunities are there. And aside from LinkedIn, LinkedIn is the biggest ocean. So obviously we have to start with LinkedIn. Now, is it that all the jobs on LinkedIn you can apply to? Obviously not. We know that it's not all the jobs on LinkedIn you can apply to or you can apply for, right? It's not all the jobs on LinkedIn you can apply for. However, it still does not remove the fact that this last 7 days on LinkedIn now, there are over 10,000 jobs that have been posted on LinkedIn, right? This last 7 days, right? And if I edit it further to like past 24 hours, in the last 24 hours, over 1,000 jobs have been posted on LinkedIn. No be me talking. This is something you can do here. Now, obviously, you will tell me, oh, it's not all the jobs that are looking for Nigerians. Yes, there's that dynamics, but it still does not remove the fact that over 1,000 jobs have been posted on LinkedIn in the last 24 hours. It still does not remove that fact. So I like to start from here, and I want to start from here, just in case you are still thinking, oh, it's because there's no, which, please, don't be the kind of person that is saying there's no opportunity, right? Nah. It's not, and I'm not trying to aspire to perspire anybody. That's why I like to show it, right? Now, we could now start to narrow it down and say, okay, oh, let's look for the ones that you can apply for, right? Which is a different conversation. So, but it's always good to start with that picture or that overview that there are a lot of job opportunities. Only on LinkedIn, we've not talked about other sites, Flex Job, Built-in, Well Found, Angel List, Migrate Mates. There's quite a number of other websites where you can find remote job opportunities. So not even talk about LinkedIn alone, but just show LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the biggest ocean. And I sent you guys these important questions, which we've already answered these questions already, right? We've done our answers to this question. Now, there are some key factors that affect or key factors that are affecting job hiring, right? There are key factors, right? Which I want to highlight. Now, first of all, it's always important to note that there are many external factors that you don't have control over. And that's what I see some people will be complaining about. There are like a lot of external factors that you don't have, if you like, talk from now to tomorrow. If you like, complain from now to tomorrow. You don't have control over it. For example, globally, there is economic uncertainty globally. It's not a Nigerian thing.
Yes, many of you are going to say Nigeria economy is bad. Nigeria economy is bad. Even the US economy is not in the best states. The UK economy is not in the best states. Anybody who is paying attention to news, if you speak to anybody who is vast when it comes to economic realities, economy issue is everywhere. So if you think that it's just a Nigerian thing, you are boboing yourself, and it's just an excuse that you are giving to yourself. Globally, there is economic uncertainty. In the US, look at the issue that is happening with Trump and Elon Musk now, right? Both of them are fighting. Anybody that is paying attention to news already knows that gist, right? And that is going to make even the US economy to even shake more. Elon Musk has already lost 30-something billion dollars out of his valuation, right? His money or his worth has dropped by $30 billion in just 1 day or 2 days, just because of his issue with Elon Musk. So there's economic uncertainty everywhere, which means more and more companies are cautious. That's what you should have at the back of your mind. More companies are very cautious now, not because of any other thing, but because they know that economy is not stable, and it's not just a Nigerian thing. Because that's one, I'll say, a lie that we always tell ourselves. Oh, Nigeria economy is bad. Tinubu, economy. It is everywhere. Right? I have a mentee who is in the US. She's currently a project manager in the US. And then even getting jobs, she works for 2 companies as a project manager. And the 2 companies, they are doing layoffs. And they are not doing layoffs because they don't want to hire people. It's because the economic situation in the US is also shaky, which means every company is now restructuring or rethinking hiring. They are no longer hiring based on vibes and inshallah. They are hiring based on there's a need for the talents. So companies are no longer hiring based on, oh, you know how to do product management. Yeah, come and collect job. You're on your own. No company is doing that any longer. Even companies that have money, and I'm sure you guys have heard of the gist. Google laid off staff. Microsoft's laid off staff. Apple, have I heard Apple laying off staff? I know Google, Microsoft, at least there are major companies that have laid off staffs. Meta, Facebook has laid off thousands of staffs. Now, the layoff is not because they don't have the money to pay. It is because of economic uncertainty, and it's not necessarily their fault. Now, companies are hiring based on needs. You who is a talent, you need to understand that. You cannot be complaining and say you're not getting job when you have not even understand that, oh, every companies are now more gone are the days where companies just hire and pay somebody big money. Unfortunately, that time has passed. Sorry to say that, just in case. You're not going to come into the tech space now and just earn big money just because you are in tech. You must show workings. And if there's one of my favorite quotes, all of you or some of you probably know me, I say that quote every time. No be church or show workings, right? If you don't get evidence, you go explain, tire. Those 2 quotes, they are more real now than ever before for every product management talent. It's not just every product, every talent everywhere in the world. It's not just a tech thing, unfortunately. It's not a tech thing alone. It's everywhere. So companies are more, it's not because companies are not hiring. As they are sacking some people, they are hiring some people. However, the way companies used to hire a lot of people based on, oh, this person just have certificate, this person have knowledge. Companies are no longer doing that. Now, what made some of you to come into the tech space is, oh, tech is hiring, people are hiring, let me learn a tech skill. Unfortunately, guys, I'm bringing you the bad news. Unfortunately, that whole tech craze of companies hiring like crazy. Unfortunately, guys, I'm here to tell you that has stopped. Companies are no longer hiring because you've learned product management or because you have a certification in product management. You got to show workings. You got to show evidence. You have to upskill more. You have to show more workings. You have to show more evidence. You have to bring more to the table. Right? In short, you have to be the table. You know how ladies used to say, what do you bring to the table? And ladies will tell you, I am the table. Right? Right now, without even mincing words, guys, you have to be the table for organization. You're no longer, it's not about what you bring to the organization any longer. You have to bring the table. So that time of, people just easily get tech jobs has passed. So a wake-up call, that time has passed. It's no longer easy to get a tech job. And the truth is that you don't have control over it. Does it mean, you will not get a job? No, people are still getting jobs. At least Goodness Eizode, one of our instructors at Enoverlab, she still told me about one of their trainees at Ikeja who just got a new job, right? And that's not the only person, about 2 or 3 persons like that. And it's not a Pakurumo job, it's a 5,000 USD every month job. That's a $60,000 job per annum, right? So as some people are losing, some people are getting. What you need to understand is the dynamics of the market in today's world. Economy is uncertain everywhere, which means companies are now much more cautious, unlike 5-6 years ago when they just hire based on vibes. Now companies are more cautious. Number 2 factor is AI and automation, and I'm sure this one is not new to you. Some of you have asked, is AI going to take our job? Is AI going to take our job? Some of you probably hate AI. Some of you are in support of AI. Truth is that there's nothing you can do about it. AI and automation is going to take some jobs, right? I was still telling some people that even at Enoverlab, there are some things we are going to remove from our syllabus very soon. Things like creating wireframe, creating user flow, AI will do those things. Things like using Trello, using Jira, AI is going to do those things. Things like setting tickets on Jira, Kiniko on Jira, all those are skills that AI is going to be able to do. So if you are not someone who is taking that reality that, there are some jobs that companies are going to be looking for, or there are some tasks, so let me call it jobs, but let's say jobs and then tasks, right? Now, you might be asking, will AI take a product manager job? No. And I'm not saying it because I'm a product manager. I remember when I was at Arise News last year, and Rotus Odili asked me, he said, Mr. Rotus asked me, is AI going to take our job? I told him, no. Why? Our job is more of strategic. All the other hands-on part of a product manager's job, all those Jira, Trello, Figma, analytics, all those roles are, truth is that AI is going to take all those roles. I'm being honest with you. I'll say it as it is. AI is going to take all those roles. And you have to be aware that all those manual roles, creating wireframe, user flow, Trello, Jira, analytics, all those roles that you people overhype, or some people overhype on social media, it's just a matter of time. Figma already has a prompt to create wireframe or user flow on Figma. Has anybody seen that prompt on Figma where you just write a prompt, create a wireframe for a banking app? You see it there. You don't need to sit down and be creating wireframe by yourself again. So it's just a matter of time. Those things are going to get automated, which means for you as a product manager, you want to be focusing on much more strategic skills that AI cannot do. Right? And which means if you are applying to a job or you're applying for a job, right, you have to put that into consideration. Companies are expecting you to bring more to the table than just saying, I can use Jira, I can use Trello, I can use Figma, I can do Google Analytics. You have to bring more to the table than that. Right? And when I say bring more to the table, is largely strategic skills. And I have simplified it. See, I was telling some people just this on Thursday or on Wednesday, there's only 2 things you can do for any company right now that will make you indispensable. 2 things you can do for any company that will make you indispensable right now. Help them to make more money, help them to save more money. Every other thing in between is dispensable. You can write that down. If you are going into job application now, if you are going into any job right now, let your priority be on talking about either how you can help them to make more money or either how you can help them to save more money. If anything outside of those 2 things is dispensable. Being very realistic with you here. So if you are going into conversation and say, I can create roadmap, how does roadmap help the company to make more money? It's a question, right? Yes, we've taught you those things. Now, does it mean those things are useless? No, they are not useless. But those things are no longer the priority. That's not what companies want to hear any longer. That's not what companies want to hear any longer. Oh, you can create a roadmap. Oh, you can use Jira. Really? Nobody wants to hear that any longer. Over time, AI is going to do all of those things. What you want to be speaking now is, oh, this is how I can help you guys to make more money, or this is how I can help you guys to save more money. That should be the chain of your conversation right now. Any other thing in between is dispensable, meaning it can be neglected. But if you go into an interview today and you can say, oh, I am strategic and this is how I can help you to make more money, this is how I can help you to scale the business, this is how I can help you to reach more customers, this is how I can help you to solve more problems for more customers. You are talking in the line of things that is helping the company to move forward in terms of revenue or at least save money, right? You will get more listening ears to whatever it is that you want to say. But if you are going into interview and your focus is, oh, I can use Jira, I can use Trello, I can use Figma, I am good at road mapping. My brother, my sister, how did I sack him up? My brother, right? That guy that is on TikTok that does car videos. My brother, it's not going to work any longer. That year has passed. Those times have passed where your bragging rights is on Jira, Trello, Figma. Those years have passed. Your bragging right now should be focused on strategy. And there are just two things that matter. Make money, save money. Every other thing in between is very dispensable. But anything that has to do with making money and saving money is indispensable. So please, these factors, you cannot control it, and just accept that you cannot control it. Economy is not certain anywhere. AI and automation is yet to stay, so accept it. What you should be figuring out is, I recommend everybody to go and take a course on AI, right? And I've been saying it for a while now. And let me just send you guys my top recommendation. Go and take a course on AI. Not because you want to obviously do anything, but because you just want to ensure that you have a certification on AI on your LinkedIn, right? So this is a free certification from Product School, right? I've been recommending this to quite a number of people. Go and take this course. It's free on Product School. Let me send the link, right? Like they say, if you cannot join them, if you cannot beat them, join them. Truth is that the world is going this route. You cannot beat it. There's nothing you can do about it. So you better join it. And the earlier you join it, the better. Right? And go and take this course. I've dropped the link on the chat section. The course is free. Right? Go to Product School, take this particular course, have that AI certification. Or I wish Product School is giving me referral bonus. Because the amount of people I have referred to Product School like this. Okay, so let's go ahead. So yeah, go and take something on AI. Companies are downsizing, and that is normal. Companies are downsizing, that is normal. And they are not downsizing because they don't want to hire talent. Please listen to me carefully. Companies are not downsizing because they don't want to hire talent. Companies are downsizing because they want to hire the best talent and they want to be more efficient. You can go and ask any hiring manager, ask any recruiter. I'm privileged to have a couple of recruiters in my network. And companies are not downsizing. All these Facebook layoff 10,000 people, Meta layoffs. It's not because they don't want to hire people, because they are still hiring. But now what they are doing is that every company is now trying to be more efficient, which is not a bad thing. It's normal. If it's your own company too, sure, you will not try to be efficient. Because sometimes when some of us are complaining that companies are not hiring, I'm always like laughing. If you are the CEO of the company and you see that there's a better way for the company to be efficient, sure, you will not do it. So don't blame them. So it's you that need to understand the dynamics of the market. So don't be complaining that companies are downsizing, people are not hiring. It is normal, and it's not because they are not hiring. They are hiring, however, they are becoming more efficient. Nobody is doing hiring based on vibes again. Companies are now more efficient, and then they're also leveraging AI and automation to make them even more efficient. So you have to now be the table. Don't even bring the table. Like women will say, right? What do you bring to, like when men say, what do you bring to the table? Woman will say, I am the table. Same thing applies to you as a talent. If you cannot go into a company and feel like you are the table in that company, then you are very dispensable. And this is also saying into the future. Let's say, for example, you get a job. If you do not make yourself the table in that job, whenever they are thinking about efficiency, because most companies are now thinking efficient now more than just hiring. Like I said, those days of you get job by vibes has gone, unfortunately. Now companies are being more efficient. So you have to understand that dynamics and then play yourself, right? And then companies now also have lower confidence in unverified talents. Companies have lower confidence in unverified talents. Hence, the need for internships. Hence, the need for you to get more, do more projects. So, and look here, unfortunately, you don't have any control over these factors. So we won't be talking about them. If you finish this session and you are still complaining about economy, AI, downsizing, then it's your fault why you're not getting a job. Because all of those factors, you don't have control over it. What you need to do is focus on what you have control over. Basically, focus on what you have control over, like what you can control. All these other things, you cannot control it. If you like, shout from now to tomorrow. If you like, do lamentation from now to tomorrow. If you like, pray from now to tomorrow. You cannot control all of these other factors here. And these are just some, I just focus on like the major ones, right? So now let's talk about the things that you do have control over, putting into consideration all of these other factors, right? So first thing foremost is lack of relevant experience and transferable skills. See, I know some of you know these things, but it's quite unfortunate that when people go into applications or they're applying for jobs, they're not thinking about the relevancy of what they know, what they have, and then the job that they're applying to. Right? So you're not thinking about the relevance of what you know and what you have and the job they're applying to. And the truth is that I tell people, I have it on this particular slide here. Here's that particular slide now. I'll be sharing for like 2 different slides. If you do not have relevant work experience, then you should also not have high expectation. I want to add something. Lack of patience. I'll still come to that lack of patience. How did I forget lack of patience in my list at the top? If you don't have relevant experience, right? If you don't have relevant experience, right? How do you want to apply? Let me give an example. So many people apply without having clear, demonstrable experience in product-related roles. So, for example, now you are a fresh graduate. If you are a fresh graduate, why are you complaining that people are not giving you a job when you don't even have any experience doing anything? You've not done business, you've not done any job at all. Why are you complaining? It's normal. Now, for experience, the next question is experience. You've done customer service, you've done marketing, you've done sales, you've done operations, or you've done project management or program or software development. How are you leveraging those relevant experience? Recruiters want to see a track record of problem solving, cross-functional collaboration, driving business growth, and leadership. So the challenge is some of you who don't have experience here, you are crying that you're not getting a job, but you don't have experience, for crying out loud. So it is what it is. You don't have experience, go and find experience. And please don't tell me, oh, they are not hiring people who don't have experience. And how are you going to get experience? You too, you are trying to apply to jobs that you should not apply to. Someone who is looking for experience is now going to apply to a big tech company. How are you going to get a job? Right? Even me, that I have experience, right? I applied to Money Point for the head of growth role last year. Guess what? They did not give me the job with my 8 years of experience. But why did they not give me the job? Because I do not have financial service experience or fintech experience. So I could tell you emphatically, even when I applied to the role at Money Point, right? I just applied based on vibes too, because I just think that I know that Money Point, they are going to be very big on people that have banking experience, finance experience. But I've never worked in a bank before. I've never built any fintech product personally before. So obviously my chances are slim. Now, because I applied to Money Point, they did not give me the job. I will now come and start doing lamentation. Meanwhile, I did not have the relevant experience to get the job. Why should I be doing lamentation? That's what some of you are doing. You apply to a job, you don't have the relevant experience, you don't have transferable skills, then they do not now give you the job. You will now start complaining, lamenting, I'm not getting a job, I'm not getting a job. Baba, why will you get a job that you don't have the relevant experience for? So when I was applying to the Money Point rule last year, I was just applying based on like vibes. Okay, oh, let me just shoot my shot now, head of growth, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't have expectation. Not because I don't have faith. I'm a child of God. I have faith, and I know that anything I want to get, I'll get it. But there are some things that just has to do with realistic. It makes more sense for Money Point to hire somebody that has banking experience or finance experience than for them to hire me that don't have finance experience or banking experience. It just makes more logical sense. Right? So why will I be complaining that they're not giving me the job when I don't have the relevant experience to get the job? That's what some of you need to sit down and just be truthful to yourself. The job that you're applying for, do you have relevant experience? Like, do you really, really, really have the experience to do the job? Don't apply to a job that you don't have experience for. Or if you're applying, don't have high expectations. Just like the way when I applied to the head of growth role at Money Point, I did not have high expectation. I just applied based on vibes. Right? And when I saw the feedback, it did not pay me. It did not enter my body. It did not move me one bit. Why? Because I knew that my chances are very slim. Obviously, even if I was the HR person at Money Point, if they see Banji and they see another person that has banking experience, maybe the person has worked at Access Bank, worked at UBA, worked at Zenith, obviously they should go for that person over me that don't have experience. Why should they choose me when they have somebody that has worked at multiple banks? Why should they choose me that have not worked in a finance company before? It just makes logical sense. So you too, when you're applying for a job, don't apply to a job that you don't have transferable skills. Let's leave all this talk about lack of experience. You don't have experience, you don't have experience. Take it. So that's, I don't have experience. They're looking for 5 years experience. You don't have the experience. Accept it that you don't have the experience. Now, the question will now be, what should you do going forward? Who mind me, but whenever I send somebody, oh, all the jobs I'm seeing, they are saying lack of experience. Hey, you don't have experience now. It is what it is. You don't have the experience. They're looking for 3 years of experience. They're looking for 4 years of experience. You don't have it. You don't have it. You don't need to lament. Now, you can apply. I'm one of those people that will say apply, just like the way I apply. I apply based on vibes. I don't have high expectation. Right? I don't have high expectation. For example, let me say this here. Me, I've been looking for a job now for like 5 months too. So we are in the same shoes. But guess what? I am not pressured. Not because I have plenty money sitting down somewhere, but because I am carefully looking for the role that I want to enter into. I know, again, I cannot compare myself to everybody, right? And everybody might not be in my own situation. But I'm like, okay, I apply here, no. So hardly will you even see me send plenty job applications. I'm one of those people, when I say quality applications, I would not even send 100 applications in 5 months. I can't do it. I feel like it's not quality. In 5 months, maybe my quality applications might just be 2 or 3. So in 5 months, I might have maybe let's say 1 quality application, or let's say 1 or 2 quality applications a month. In 5 months, maybe about 10 quality applications in total. When I say quality means I have the relevant experience. So when I say relevant experience, let me also chip this in. I'm not saying I can do everything. So my own principle is 60%. If I read a job description and I can do 60% of the thing in the job description, I'm going to apply. I consider that a quality application. But if I read the job JD and I cannot do at least 60% of the thing in that JD, I am not going to apply. It's like, let the salary be $200,000 per annum. I won't apply. If I cannot do 60% of the job in the JD, I am not going to apply. Why am I stressing myself? So quality application means you read the JD, you understand the JD, you see that you can do at least 60% of the thing on the JD. Now, it doesn't just end there. You've done your research on the company. You've done a tear down on the company's products. Funny thing is that if you take this long quality process, you will even have time to be applying to 100 jobs. Because the time that it will take you to sit down, understand the JD, see if you have about 60% of the skill set that they require in the JD, then also go to the App Store, go to the Google Store, download the company's products, do a tear down, know what their product is, try to do your tear down, know the problem they are solving, their target user, do your own personal background work on the products. Then go and do your research on the company, check their vision, check their mission, go and research the CEO online, go to the CEO LinkedIn page, read about the CEO. That's how I look for a job, or that's how I apply to a job. I will not send my application to a job if I've not done all of these things. I would have teared down the company's product. I would have known the problem they are solving, their target audience. I would have seen, okay, do I want to play in this particular field? I would have gone to go and check their mission statement, their vision statements. I would have gone and checked the CEO online. I would have gone and checked if they've raised money from investors. Again, not all of you might do that, but that is my own criteria for searching for a job. Right? I'll go to, what's the name? I'll go to Crunchbase. Go and check them. I say, okay, this company, have they raised funds? How much do they have in capital? Blah, 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 blah. At least in terms of publicly available data. Right? So that is what I call transferable skills. When I see all of those things and it aligns with me, then I apply. And that's why when I apply, again, without even bragging, most times, most of my application always go to stage 1, stage 2 of interviews. So where I get bounced, especially when I do quality applications, is always maybe stage 3, stage 4. So for you guys that are doing stage 1, stage 2 of interviews, you're already doing something quite well. For it to get you to 3 stages of interview. I think I saw somebody that had like 4 stages of interview. That person has done quite well, right? To get you to that stage. Obviously, I'm sure everybody knows that it's not all the jobs that you apply for you are going to get. I don't think I should be saying plenty story about that. I'm sure everybody knows that it's not everything you apply for you are going to get, right? So, but if you do quality applications where you can do 60% of the thing in the JD, you can 60% of the thing in the JD, you've done a tear down, you understand the company, you understand the product, you understand what they are doing in the company, you understand this, you've gone and checked the CEO out, like you know what you're getting yourself into, right? That is more sense. That is what I call quality application, right? That's a quality application. Literally, I will spend at least 24 to 48 hours just doing that research alone. Sometimes more. Just trying to understand the company I want to apply to before even sending my application. So I wouldn't rush to send up. I don't see JD now and you just see me send my CV. It's been a while I did that. And please don't say it's because you have experience. It's not because I have experience. It's because over the years I've seen that approach is just trial and error. It's like you're betting. And betting is not guaranteed. I want to take an approach that it increases my guarantee that I will get something solid. If you're just sending job applications randomly, you are betting. And your guarantee, it reduces your guarantee that you get something ASAP. But if you are doing quality applications, it's more sensible and it's more strategic. It increases your guarantee that you get the job ASAP. So, number one reason why you're not getting a PM job is, and for some of you, especially for some of you that you are applying, but you're getting 0 interviews, this is most likely your major challenge. If you are getting 0 interviews and you are sending CV, this is where your challenge is. Don't be sending CV anyhow again. Stop sending CVs anyhow. Understand the JD, understand the company, understand their products, understand the problem. You see that, and that's why I always say, always fine-tune your CV to each job application that you're sending out. I've been saying this since 2021. Right? Even before 2021, if you go and check Enoverlab page, there's one YouTube session that we did in 2021. It's still there. I would never send one CV to 10 companies. I will most likely do 7 to 8 different CVs to those 10 companies. Because I'll sit down with each JD, understand the company. I'll now repurpose my CV, remove some things, add some things, remove some things to suit that job. When I'm applying to the company B, I'll sit down, understand company B's job description. I'll sit down with it, fine-tune my CV to suit company B. When I'm applying to company C, I'll sit down with their JD, understand the JD, understand the company. It is hard work. Yeah. It's easy for you to just be sending your CV out to random applications. But hard work is you sit down, you spend 24 to 48 hours before you even apply to the job. That is where we'll know the people that understands quality over quantity. And I'm a quality over quantity person anytime, any day. Right? By the time you use 48 hours to apply for only one job, you see that you will not even have time to send 100 applications. And I can bet you, anybody should take that challenge. Anybody here, take that challenge. If you take this quality approach to job applications, you cannot send 10 applications out there and you will not get a minimum of 2 interviews. At least you have a 20 to 30% conversion rate if you do quality applications. But if you do jama application, you can send 100 and you only get 2. You can see that the difference is not the same. I prefer to send only 10. I prefer to apply to only 10 jobs and get 2 interviews than for me to apply to 100 jobs and get 2 interviews. Because in that 2 interviews, my chances that I will get the job is higher than my chances that I will get the job of 2 interviews from 100 applications. So let me move on to the next point. Always make sure that you have relevant experience and it's tailored to the job that you're applying for. You have transferable skills and it's tailored to the job that you're applying for. Don't play betting with your career. Because if you are just sending CVs anyhow, you are just betting. And we all know the side effect. Even if you are a fan of betting here, I'm sure you know the side effect of betting. Most people lose. If you want to get to the point where you are in the winning team, you want to take a more quality approach. And if you don't have relevant experience or transferable skills, then you want to go and get it. Instead of lamenting, right? So, for example, now, somebody here has not gotten a job in 2 years. 2 years is a long time. And if truly you've not gotten a job in 2 years, my brother or my sister, if it is you, it is your fault. It's nobody's fault. Because even within just the Enoverlab circle, I cannot count how many people that have not gotten jobs in the last 2 years. Not to not talk about outside of the Enoverlab circle. Right? So if you are here and you are 2 years, you are still looking for a job, it means you are the problem. Don't blame anybody. Don't blame anybody. Now you be the problem. So number 2 points is too much focus on certifications instead of real projects. Too much focus on certificates instead of real projects. My brother, the years of certificate has passed. I'm not undermining the importance of certificates, don't get me wrong, but that time has passed. Projects, anytime, any day. Projects, anytime. That's why, for example, now at Enoverlab, some of you who are Enoverlab alumni, you know this. We give you guys capstone projects, things like that. Projects, anytime, any day. See, if you bring a portfolio with multiple projects that shows how you solved problems, that showed how you conducted research, that showed how you created wireframes, user flows, roadmap to build an MVP, it will beat a CV with plenty certification. I prefer somebody that gives me a CV that shows 5 projects, different projects, to solve different problems that they've worked on than 5 certifications on their CV. Projects. Am I saying you should not take trainings? Take trainings. Are the certificates important? Yes. You can see that my yes is not a confident yes. because I can emphatically tell you it's no longer a deal breaker when it comes to getting a job any longer. Because it's easy for you to go to a training, pay money, get the certification, and you are not still good with the skills. Very easy. Even at Enoverlab, we've trained people that are not serious. But guess what? We still have to give them certificates. And I will say it without even mincing words. There are some people that this person, is serious. It's not serious. Right? But guess what? We will still give the person job. We will still give the person certificates. Now, that person now that is not serious during training, he now goes out, carries certificates. Enoverlab certificate, I have it. Accredited by American Council of Training and Development. Now, do you think that person has a moral right to say a company is not giving him job when all the person has prioritized is, let me just get this certificate so I can get a job, but the person does not have projects to show the evidence of the work that they've done? I'll say it again to you. Your priority here, if you want to get a job ASAP, have plenty projects on your CV. My recommendation is 5, 3 to 5, minimum 3. Don't do too many projects anyway, so that it's not cumbersome. 3 to 5. Maybe not on your CV, maybe on your portfolio. Yeah? If you don't want to put it on your CV, put it on your portfolio. Create a portfolio link on VYZ or VZY. Have 3 to 5 interesting projects, so not boring projects, so projects around solving interesting problems. Right? That is hard work. In short, some of those projects, if you do some of those projects, those projects will take like, some of those projects might take 2 to 3 months on your hand. Even by, the funniest thing is that by the time you finish those projects, you feel more confident in yourself and your skills than if you take a training and you get certificate but you don't have projects. The reason why some people have come to tell me, I finished the training but I don't feel confident. The reason why you don't feel confident is because you've not still practiced what you've learned significantly. But I know people who came through the training and they were practicing as they were learning. They were practicing as they were learning. And so obviously, they finished the training and then they are not saying they are not confident. That lack of confidence, I know some people wrote lack of confidence. The reason why you lack confidence is because you've not worked on multiple projects. If you do 3 projects on your own, I can bet you your confidence will be like a wire more than what you have right now. Just go and do 3 projects. Focus on, and don't do jama. Do confirm projects where you are solving a serious problem. You go and do a user research. You talk to 40, 50, 60 persons. You document your research, put it down, create a wireframe, create a user flow, create a roadmap for the project, talk about the business objectives of the project, put everything into a slide presentation, put it on your portfolio link. Have 3 of that kind of a project, and there should be 3 different industries or 3 different problems. If you send that to a recruiter, right, you to look at it. Let's look at it logically. Say you want to hire somebody. One person shows you 3 projects that they've worked on. Another person shows you 3 certifications that they have, but has not worked on any project. Who are you going to choose? You to look at it. I don't need to answer for, I'm sure you all know the answer. I would choose the person that has 3 projects than the person that has 3 certifications. The only reason why I would choose the person that has 3 certifications is if the person has 3 projects plus their 3 certifications. But if you are going into a job and all you have is certificates, but you don't have projects to show evidence of work, you're on your own. Don't apply to any job that you're not sending them a project that you've done. Don't apply to any job that you are not sending them a project that you have done. If you like, collect certificate from Enoverlab, collect certificate from Product Dive, collect certificate from Utiva, collect certificate from all the product school in Nigeria, my brother and my sister. Your certification, no they get job again. It's no longer a priority because people can buy certificates. That's the truth. And some people have bought certificates. Again, I've told you guys, even at Enoverlab, we've given, when I saw some people's certificate, I was like, this person did not come to train, But what are we going to say? The person have paid for the class, even though the person did not attend class, we shall still give the person certificate now, Abi. but I know and I can beat my chest that person, except maybe the person is a genius, that person cannot do well in product management. Right? So at the end of the day, these are the factors. So why are you not getting a job? You are focusing too much on certification. My brother, my sister, focus on projects more. Much more on projects. Am I saying you should not have certification? I just sent you guys a product school link. Have certifications, but your priority should be more on projects. Right? Your priority should be more on projects. Number 3, poor CVs or not tailoring your CV to specific roles. So it's like a two-way street. And I think I've highlighted this. See, the best way to have a good CV is to tailor the CV to the specific role or application that you're applying for. That's the best way to have a good CV, which I've already talked about. Always never use one CV and send to 100 companies. Don't let me say you are a scam. You're wasting your time. Because you are assuming that 100 companies, they have the same needs. It means you have not done your job. You are a product manager and you don't even understand that simple concept of every company is different, which means every company will have different needs, even though they are hiring for the same product manager role. That's just one point. I spoke to somebody, the person said, oh, I've been applying. And I told the person, how have you been applying? Then the person said, oh, I've just been sending my CV. When I see job on Enoverlab community, I'll apply, I'll send my CV. When I listened to the person finish talking, I just said, are you done? The person said, yes. I said, you're not going to get a job. The person said, why did I say so? Am I wishing him bad? I'm not wishing you bad, but it's the truth. You are sending one CV to all the plenty application. You're not ready. You are playing betting. And if you get the job, you're only lucky. I want to apply for a job where I can tell to a certain degree that I'm going to get the job. Obviously, not 100%, but you want to apply to a job where you're not hoping that you will get the job. You have to a certain degree, not 100%, because nothing is guaranteed in this life. So I'm sure everybody knows that nothing is guaranteed in this life, but at least you should have like a 60 to 70% confidence that I will get this job. And if I don't get it, it will be maybe something very little. Maybe they had a more experienced talent, or they had a better somebody more than me. And which is also fine if I don't get the job anyways. Yes, Ruben, we will share the recording. So please always tailor your CV. Don't send one CV to 10 job applications. Each application should have its own CV. If you're not even ready to do that kind of hard work, how do you want to even do product management when you cannot even tailor your CV as a product to the target customer, the company that is looking for the product? You cannot even do that simple task. You learned product management. You know that product management is about building for the user, building for the customer, but you cannot even tailor your own CV, which is a product, to the company that wants to hire you as a talent. Always tailor your CV. And we put here, your resume must always scream, I drive product outcomes, which I still said earlier. You're gone are the days where the priority on your resume should be, I know how to use Trello, I know how to use Jira. I'm not saying you should not still put those things on your resume, but your priority should be more on outcome, achievements, results. Anybody that have taken Enoverlab training recently will know that we started to do something where we say that on your CV, always put an achievement column on your CV. Anybody who has taken Enoverlab training recently, drop an emoji. It's something that we talked about in class. Always put an achievement column on your CV where we say, oh, show that you have achieved something. Because gone are the days where you can just write in, I can use Jira, I can use Trello. Those days have passed. All those Jira and Trello days have passed. Not that it should not be on your CV, but that is no longer the priority for companies any longer. Every company is now looking for, can you show us outcomes, results, evidence? Again, no be show workings. Show workings of what you can do. And if you don't have evidence, right, to show workings of what you can do, my brother, then obviously it means you have to start from the ground. Don't even bobo yourself. start from the ground and go and start gathering your evidence. Right? So just like I said in the beginning of the session, if you don't have the evidence, it means you don't bother complaining. Go and start from a small startup and go and start gathering your evidence, small. Since you don't have the evidence, right? Why are you lamenting that they are not giving you a job because of lack of experience when you don't have any evidence to back up? But if you have evidence, and again, evidence does not mean product management experience. Evidence means anything that has to do with making money, anything that has to do with leadership, anything that has to do with building something. And that's where your projects, for example, can come into play. So always tailor your CV to every job application. If you're applying to 10 companies, then you should have 10 different variations of your CV to each of the company. If you're applying to 20 companies, then you should have 20. But funny thing is that by the time you take this approach, you won't even have the energy to apply to 20 companies. I can bet you. If you take this quality approach where you spend 24 to 48 hours just analyzing the job you want to apply for, sitting down, doing a tear down on their product, tearing down, go to App Store, go to Google Store, read all the reviews, look for negative reviews, look for positive reviews. That's how you apply for a job. You are going into that job with information. You've gone to the App Store, you've seen the negative reviews people are giving to the company. You've gone to their social media, you've seen negative reviews. I can't apply for any job that I don't have negative reviews in my hands about the company's products. Because by the time I'm going into the application or I'm going into the interview, those are some of the things that will help you scale interviews. Because you can go there with information. Oh, you can be able to tell the interviewer that if they ask you, do you have any question? You can go there. You will sound smart, safe to them. Imagine an interviewer asks you, oh, do you have any question? And you're like, oh, yes, I have a question. I went to the App Store and I noticed that some of the customers are complaining about XYZ about the app. I don't know, has anything been done? I have a suggestion on what I think you guys can do to solve that problem. Imagine you saying that in an interview to the person who is hiring you. It shows that, this is sense. This person have sense. Even you say you show that you have sense. Because you're not just going to the interview and say, I know. No, you go into the interview and you're like, oh, I checked the App Store. I saw some consistent negative reviews. And I thought about it that, okay, I have this suggestion. I just want to drop it as a suggestion. This is how I think that these negative issues can be resolved. You sound smart. You give yourself an edge. But when you do not even read the JD, when you do not do a tear down on the company's products, how will you even know what to say in the interview? Most people think the interview is about knowing Jira and knowing Trello and knowing roadmap. Nap. Most times, interviews, they're going to be asking you use case questions or case study kind of questions. Right? So, do your research. Don't apply to any job that you do not know the company, you don't know their products, you've not done your tear down, you've not seen the negative reviews, you've not seen the positive reviews. Why should you apply? Why? Right? So, poor interview prep as well. People don't prepare for interviews too. Some of you now that say you went into an interview. After you applied, they now called you for interview, right? And then you're not ready. Simple things like, I don't even want to talk about this I'll still come to lack of confidence, but let me even talk about external factors. Somebody wants to do an interview, the person came late. You're now apologizing. You say you did not get a job. They did not call you back. And what do you want? You are meant to be at an interview at 4 p.m. You're not joining the call, 4:02. In your mind, you are thinking it's only 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes. Baba, you have big baggy. You have messed up. Why didn't you join 3:58? Why didn't you join 3:55? It's only 2 minutes. I only came late 2 minutes. You are late. Already you should be on the call before, you should be on the call 10 minutes before the interview starts. Especially if it's online interview. And if it's physical interview, be at the location early. It's Lagos traffic. You don't know that there's always Lagos traffic before. These are like external factors. Then you now say you're not getting a job. When you came late for the interview, how do you expect them to call you back? Except they are just nice. Some of you doing interviews, your background is noisy. You are doing online interview at home, your background is noisy. Somebody is shouting, hey, Banji, hey, your generator is making noise. My brother, how do you want to get a job when you cannot even put yourself in order? These are like minor things. You cannot even put yourself in order. You go into an interview, an online interview, you are still waiting for them to ask you to turn on your video. Ideally, if you're in an online interview, you want to do an interview online, don't wait for the interview to ask you to turn on your video. You turn on your video and be ready. These are little things. It shows that you're taking initiative. Turn on your video like this and be ready. Make sure your internet. Ensure whenever you want to do interviews, that's what I personally do. I have 2 internets. I have my MTN, I have my Airtel. The minute I notice one is already flopping, I quickly swap. Not that I be saying, oh, I have network issues. I am sorry. I have network issues. I am sorry. Baba, who you're sorry help? These are reality conversations. That's like you are trying to play, you're just trying to play emotional blackmail. But is anybody can have network issues? Yes, anybody can have network issues. That's why you should have prepared. Have 2 internet sources. You're going into an interview, have 2 internets on the table. Your Airtel should be ready, your Airtel, whatever internet provider, shall have 2 internet providers on the table. The main one is giving you square, you swap it. But the moment you're not dealing with internet issue, there's network issue. The longer that thing takes, the lesser your chances of getting that particular job. And again, these are like simple, basic stuff. Right? On your generator, make sure you're far. If your gen is too noisy, go somewhere else. If you have to do an interview and go to a co-working space and rent an office to do an interview, go and rent. Go to a co-working space, rent an office just to do your interview for 1 hour. It's not better for you to do your interview in a peaceful environment than for you to be in your house where somebody is shouting your name, somebody is telling you, come and remove the fry pan, something is burning. Or you not hear your mom shouting, see, there are some weird things that we have seen in interview. I've personally seen in interview. If you hear people shouting in the background, something is burning on fire. I'm like, see what I did in interview. And you want to get the job. I don't understand how you want to get the job when somebody is making noise in your background. Why can't you go to a co-working space, pay 10,000 naira, pay 5,000 naira, get an office and do your interview with peace of mind? If you cannot trust your internet, go to a co-working space. Most of them use MTN 5G or Elon Musk internet, Starlink or Fiber One. Have a quality internet, do your interview and come back home. These are little things that I'm always surprised. I was in an interview and somebody was shouting in the person's background. I'm just like, okay. Already, the shout in the person's background has already even disorganized with that we are doing the hiring. We just eventually, even though the person spoke well, but eventually that thing has already destabilized us. Just to the person, we didn't call the person back, even though the person spoke well. But that old noise at the person's background that destabilized. It's a simple stuff. But aside from even those, external factors that you can control, other factors that you can control is prepare for product thinking questions, prepare for metrics questions, prepare for answering questions with the STAR framework. Lack of confidence during interviews, I think that comes when you don't have a lot of projects. If you have projects, my brother, your confidence level is higher. It's the same kind of confidence that somebody that has 7 years of experience or 5 years of experience is going to have. That's what you have. Imagine you have like 7 projects under your belt. Like 7 quality. Again, please don't go and just do plenty project. Oh, like I said, quality over quantity. Like imagine you have, let me not say 7. Imagine you have 3 quality projects, like projects that you pour your heart into. You can't go into an interview and then you will not talk confidently because already you did the project and you are trying to solve a problem. And then, there's a way, because it's your work. You are not going to feel shy talking about something that you put your energy into. The reason why you are shy during an interview is majorly because you don't have any practical experience. But doing projects, even without getting a job, doing projects is going to give you practical experience. I can tell you emphatically, you can go and try it out. Go and do like 3 quality projects that you put your energy into it. You did research, you spoke to 70, 80 persons. You know, you created wireframe, created user flow, created the roadmap, planned out how the project is going to make money, business objectives, thought about, you know, the user stories, the acceptance criteria for all the feature in the product. You can't go into an interview and you did 3 quality projects where you did all of those things and you will now still be shy. If you are shy at that stage, I don't know what to say any longer. If you are shy after doing 3 quality projects that you put your heart into, I don't know what to say. And it means your case is serious, Neil. Your case is serious at that point. This lack of confidence comes majorly because you've not done enough. If you've done enough, you'll be confident in the interview. And part of the things that you should do enough, do your research, do a tear down on their products, do your research, do a tear down on their products, play your own parts, right? Then number 5, people have poor understanding of product thinking and frameworks, right? So I always say that there are 6 topics that every product manager should be grounded on or grounded in if you want to pass any interview. There are 6 topics that you should be grounded in if you want to pass any interview, right? There are 6 topics, and these are my 6 skill sets that you should be grounded in if you want to pass any interview at all. Product thinking, understanding users, prioritization, metrics, product strategy, which includes competitive analysis and value proposition, team management and leadership, which includes communication. Understand these 6 topics like your career depends on it, because actually your career depends on these 6 topics or these 6 skills. Every other thing in product management to a certain degree is dispensable. Put me anywhere. I say it without even mincing mouth. Right? At Enoverlab, we do about, I think, 19 topics, right? Not because, again, we want to just be teaching you things that you don't need, but because you still need those other topics. But in terms of relevance, you know, we also talk about Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your energy is going to give you 20% of effort. Now, these 6 topics, they're like your 20% of effort that give you 80% of results in product management. Which means, like I always say, you put 80% of your energy on these 6 topics and be grounded in these 6 topics. Product thinking, 6 pillars of product thinking, understanding users, conducting user research, understand prioritization framework, Moscow, Kano, RISE, value versus complexity, opportunity scoring, understand metrics, acquisition, activation, retention, churn, customer satisfaction score, NPS, net promoter score, CAC, CLV, MRR, ARR, ARPU, all of these metrics. Obviously, product strategy, like I said, strategy is the biggest thing right now. Ability to help a company to make money or save money. All of that falls under strategy. Then team management, how you manage a team, how you lead a team. These are the 6 most important topics in product management. Your career depends on it, not just to even get a job, but because most part of what you're going to be doing on your job is going to be around these 6 things. For the most part. It's going to be around these 6 things. For the most part. Right? Some other things are interwoven, but these 6 are your major. Be grounded in these 6 skills. Right? Every other thing is relatively dispensable, like I said. Now, let's move forward. Right? You want to focus on those 6 skills. Some of you have low visibility or network in the tech ecosystem. This one is, I know many people are guilty of this. Some of you have low visibility or network in the tech ecosystem, unfortunately. See, Nigerian tech ecosystem relies heavily on referrals, community involvement, and ecosystem visibility. Especially in Nigeria right now, right? The ecosystem relies on referrals more than ever before, right? And it's because too many people say they have certification. but only very few people have skills. Hear me here, hear me clearly. Too many people say they have certifications, but only very few people have skills. So a lot of companies have seen that you just see 5,000 applications. Who saw this gist? Who saw this gist on Career Body, where some 3 people came on a job interview, and then physically, then the interviewer asked them to order food, and then they spent 148,000 ordering food. Maybe I'll bring that gist later. They went for an interview. They now went to go and spend the interviewer's money. They owe 148,000 on somebody's money. Somebody bought umkobi. Somebody bought catfish pepper soup. I was just laughing, right? So, anyways, we'll come back to that gist. But the thing is, many of you are not participating in communities enough. Many of you are not participating in events enough, right? You're not visible. And the tech ecosystem right now relies on referrals more than ever before. See, recruiters are now understanding that they going through 5,000 CVs is just stress. Recruiters, hiring managers, they are now understanding that they reviewing 5,000 CVs is stress. Even recently, right, somebody reached out to me from a fintech, right, and they said, oh, Banji, please, I need product managers, so send me like some of the best people that you know. And I reached out to my network. I think I even shared it on the community group, right? And I checked the people, and I sent quality people to them. Being very honest with you, the lady reached back and said, Omo, you need to see how they were excited about the quality of the people that I shared with them in comparison to the job posting that they did on LinkedIn. So they posted the job on LinkedIn. They got a lot of applications, but majority of it was nonsense. Now, the ones I shared with them, because it was carefully curated, they had more quality talent to sort through. So the ecosystem relies on referrals. So more than ever before, don't be a silent person. I don't like noise. I like to be on my own. I don't want to be involved in something. I'm shy. I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk. If nobody know you, nobody know you. You're going to find it harder to get a job. Again, except maybe you are going to hustle on all these job sites, right? Hustling on the job site, which is also a part. But I personally prefer the community part, right? The community part gives me leverage, right? The community part gives me leverage. So you are in Enoverlab community, be part of the community. Let us know you. Let your face show. Let your shoes shine. Attend events just like this one. Join sessions. Talk to people. Connect with somebody. Some of you are seeing yourself in this meeting for the first time. Send a DM to the person. Connect with somebody. Aside from Enoverlab, attend other events. There's African Tech Expo. There's PCTM event. There's World Product Day. Go there. Don't say you're too busy. Right? Referrals is king right now. Because people are tired of sorting through 1,000 CVs not to find anybody. Right? I was telling somebody, right? I have a friend at CCO. They wanted to hire designers. I think I told some set of people. They wanted to hire designers at CCO, right? 120 people applied. They didn't find one sensible person. 120 people applied. Eventually, they had to reach out to my friend who then gave them one of our mentees. And guess what? When they interviewed that person, they were like, this person is good. So if you are here and you're not in communities, you don't have somebody, you don't know somebody in the tech ecosystem, my brother, you are losing out. You're losing out. It's one of the easiest ways you can get jobs. Am I saying you get a job tomorrow? Obviously not. You're not just going to get a job tomorrow, right? It takes about 3 to 6 months to get a job. Also put that at the back of your mind. And let me use this way, quality job. So let me just put it that way. It takes about 3 to 6 months to get a quality job. Also put that at the back of your mind. So if you are expecting to get a job tomorrow, unfortunately, I'm here to break the news. Don't carry. Now, is it that it's impossible to get a job in 1 month? It's not because it's impossible. I've seen people got jobs in 2 weeks, a week after finishing their training. But funny is that those people who get jobs pretty early, they've started to look for the jobs way earlier than the time that they got the job. And that's why even at Enoverlab right now, we've started to recommend that people start to look for opportunities early. Right? Deborah is on this call. I remember telling them, Deborah was like, you guys should start looking for opportunities, even if it's internship. The earlier you start, the better. Right? Because by the time you finish your training, for example, it's easier, right? Somebody chatted me up now that she has gotten an internship. And meanwhile, she just finished training on Wednesday. But she has gotten an internship on what's today's Saturday on she sent me the message. Was it on Thursday or Friday? She finished training on Wednesday, already got that, but she didn't get that internship on that Friday. She had started to apply during the course of the training. So by the time she finished training on Wednesday, she already got a solid internship on Thursday. But obviously, she didn't get that internship that day. She had been following through the process even before the end of the training. So already she had some form of visibility, right? So let's move forward. See, many jobs are not posted online. Always have that at the back of your mind, right? All those jobs that you see on LinkedIn, there are still more jobs that are not posted online. And community can help you tap into the hidden job market. So let people around you know that you're a product manager. Some of you now, your friends don't even know you're a PM. Some of you, your friends don't know you're a PM. Some of you have never posted anything on your WhatsApp status about product management. I just shake my head. Nobody knows you're a product manager. You've never posted anything on your WhatsApp status, not even your own WhatsApp status. Meanwhile, I have at least 2 verified persons who have gotten jobs from their WhatsApp status. I had Ibrahim. Ibrahim has relocated to the UK now, right? I know the first job that Ibrahim got was from his WhatsApp status. He just shared it on WhatsApp status that he's a product manager. Somebody saw it. Somebody recommended him. Before you know, he got that gig from WhatsApp status, right? So, some of you don't even share things like that, right? Everybody around me know that I'm a product manager. Everybody, right? My musician friends, my tech friends, my church members, even the people I don't talk to, my Instagram people, everybody know that I'm a product manager. No running away, no shy. Also, on the day the opportunity is going to come, you're not going to be called. You can share it on Facebook as well, right? And then people are also not positioning themselves. Okay, I have this point here. I'll be wrapping up in a bit. If you're looking for a job and you're not actively engaging in a community, you are on your own. That's the truth. If you're looking for a job and you're not actively engaging in a community, you're on your own. Whether it is Enoverlab, whether it is another community, you shall be engaging. Right? See, you cannot do anything on your own. No. Okay, let me move forward. Not positioning yourself well on LinkedIn, right? Vivian, you are joining with Grace Wash. Continue. All right, don't worry, you understand what I'm saying. Also, I wonder that who is Matthew Gagner? Let's Idris catch you. You're using Matthew Gagner's email. All right, not positioning yourself well on LinkedIn or social media, right? So poor LinkedIn branding reduces chances of being found by recruiters or hiring managers. Leveraging social media like LinkedIn and Twitter is not a choice, it's a necessity in today's world, unfortunately. If you don't, then you must have a strong network of people or community where you can get jobs. So if you say, okay, you don't have energy for all this LinkedIn and Twitter thing, then you must have a strong community. So you have to choose one. Either you do LinkedIn and Twitter and you gradually build your brand on LinkedIn and Twitter or any other platform, but LinkedIn and Twitter like the tech platform for tech opportunities. But if you don't do that, then you must be big on communities. If you say, okay, you don't have the energy for, sharing things on LinkedIn, maybe once in a week or twice in a week, you don't have the energy for that. You don't have the energy for engaging on LinkedIn or Twitter. No wahala. You must have the energy for community. But if you say you don't have energy for LinkedIn and Twitter, and you don't have energy for community, which one do you now want to do? Which one do you want to do? Pick your struggle. Everything is hard. There's nothing that is easy in this life. So choose your hard. Either you choose the hard of LinkedIn or you choose the hard of community. Right? You have to choose one. You can't be in the middle. You can't say, I'll get a job. Then there are some jobs where they require technical fluency. There are some jobs that require you to be technically fluent, right? See, if you see jobs that require technical fluency, where they want you to understand APIs, system architecture, database, like the technical side of the product, then you need to go and upskill yourself technically. Stop complaining, especially if you want to get those kind of job done like by force, right? Then stop complaining. At least Enoverlab has technical product management course. Take technical product management course. If you need to update in growth, right? We have a growth PM course. Take a growth PM course. If you want to upgrade in like specifically AI product management, we have an AI product management course, which we are sort of repurposing right now. We post it for a bit because we're trying to repurpose the course to be more practical. There's a course. And even if you don't want to take it at Enoverlab, shall go and upskill somewhere else, right? The most important thing is that if you want to get certain jobs that require technical skills, upgrade technically. If you want to get certain jobs that require growth skills, update yourself in growth. If you want to get certain jobs that require AI skills, update yourself in AI. Don't be complaining and saying you don't have the skills, you don't have the skills. Go and learn. That's why you're learning. And yes, if you have to pay, pay. And if you don't want to pay, there are free courses out there. Shall go and learn one. Whether you pay or you learn the free one, anyone shall choose something. But complaining, don't complain. That's not that you should not do, right? Then there is imposter syndrome. And I saw this as well in the form that people filled. I saw that imposter syndrome one there as well. People are scared. Some people are afraid. Some people are scared. And it's normal. It's normal to be afraid. I will not even tell you that it is bad. Why should you be afraid? It is normal to be afraid. It is normal to be scared, right? That feeling of you are not enough, that feeling of you don't know enough, it is normal. But let me tell you, my brother and my sisters, the easiest way to break imposter syndrome is to take action. For example, again, if you go and work on 3 quality projects, spend the next 2 to 3 months, right, working on quality projects, you cannot come out of that 2 to 3 months and still be feeling not enough. You cannot. The reason why you are feeling not enough, the reason why you are feeling like you have not done enough, or the reason why you are feeling like you should still, you're afraid, is because you actually don't even have enough. There's just that deeper mind that, oh, I don't still know this thing well. So why don't you go and know the thing well? Because anything that you know well, you will talk about it. All of us have pride now, and we have ego. We all have self-pride and self-ego. Anything that we can do, we will show it. All human beings are like that. Anything you can do, you will show it. So the reason why you are scared, or the reason why you have that imposter syndrome, that feeling of I'm not good enough, what if I fail, is because you've not also done enough. Right? For example, now I'm trying to take some personal steps in my career right now, but one of the things that is holding me back is because I have not done enough in that particular area. And that's why even me right now, I'm scared of that particular step. But I know that, okay, all I just need to do is to go and do enough. So for some of you here, especially for you guys that are new, right, your focus right now should be on projects or internships. Anyone, just choose one. Internships, projects. Enoverlab has an open source internship. I noticed that some people don't take it serious. I just shake my head for them. They're expecting a perfect environment. There's no environment that is perfect, for crying out loud. No company is perfect. No environment is perfect. The open source internship is designed to put you in a symbolic internship environment, but some people are not taking it serious. I shake my head for them. And then somebody come and said, oh, I thought you were going to put us in like a this one. I'm like, oh. Even the Bible says, he who is faithful with little, much more is going to be given unto you. You're not even faithful with open source internship. How do you want me to recommend you to even a better one? right? Even the Bible says who is faithful with little, even much more. So some of you are here, you are doing open source internship, you are doing it anyhow, you are doing it blah, blah, blah. I shake it for you, right? Because why? That is an opportunity for you to gather experience. Internship that you're supposed to do in 2-3 months, you have done and dusted. And the confidence you have in yourself at the end of the internship in comparison to before the internship is going to be very different. So all this whole imposter syndrome, I'm scared, I'm afraid, go and work on projects. You will see that you will not be scared again and you will not be afraid again. Right? Or don't let me say you will not be scared. Your fear is going to reduce. It's normal to be scared. So I'm not even saying it's normal. Like I said, even me, I'm scared of a certain decision that I want to take right now. It's normal to be afraid. Fear is a normal thing. It's a normal part of life, right? What you need to do is to take action, take action, take action. I know this sounds like aspire to perspire. Shall just do it, right? Because that's what it is. Just go and do it. Take action, take action, take action, right? Now, how do you apply for roles strategically? Right, I'm beginning to wind down. How do you apply for roles strategically? There are just, in my opinion, 6 things that you need to do right now, and I highly recommend this 6. Is it 6? 2, 4, yeah, 6. There are just 6 things on the screen. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
I consider these 6 things more like strategic, and I'll tell you. Igokwe says she cannot see my screen. Chukuma says, how do you get into the open source internship? Chukuma, how do you get into the open source internship? Forward Tommy, maybe you drop your number. Chukuma, you reach out to Forward Tommy. For me, please drop your number so that they can send you a message for the open source internship. Igokwe, so if you cannot see my screen, maybe you have to drop out and join in again. If you cannot see my screen. So let's quickly talk about this. Number 1, we recommend, and I recommend that you focus on applying primarily to startups and growth stage companies. Right? Apply more to startups and growth stage companies. Apply more to startups and growth stage companies. So, I know a lot of people still apply to startups, right? But when I say startups now, there are two types of startups. There is early stage startups. There is, I'll call them middle stage startups. So early stage startups are startups where they've not really built or they are just starting to build. They are the easiest companies to get into. Obviously, they will not pay you well. So have that at the back of your mind, right? And I'll still come back to lack of patience, which I'll still talk about in a bit, because some people are not patient. Because if you want to work in a startup, don't expect big money, right? So it is what it is. They are a startup. They are not this thing, right? Especially early stage startup. They are easiest to get into, but obviously they're not going to pay big money because they are the easiest to get into. Right? Middle stage startups are startups that they've already built their product and they've already launched something into the market. I consider them middle stage startups. So they've already built something, they've already launched something into the market, and then you're just coming in there. And then growth stage companies. So these are going to be my recommendation depending on the stage that you are in your career. But for most of you, if you are relatively new to product management, or you just have maybe 1 to 2 years of experience, my recommendation is to focus your job applications to startups and growth stage companies. Not because it's bad to apply to big tech companies, but because it is easier to get into these ones. So even if your priority is big tech companies, be applying to these ones and the big tech companies. But have it at the back of your mind, applying to big tech companies comes with its own stress, right? But you know the beautiful thing about applying to big tech companies that comes with its own stress? If you have some form of guidance, you can always scale through. There's somebody that's reached out to me recently, and I was just like, this person is very sharp and very smart. She was like, oh, she wants to start applying to big tech companies, and that I should recommend her to like people that I know that have worked for big tech companies. And that's what I did. I just sent her, one of my, my PM role models or mentors in this space. I sent her to Mr. Bolaji. I sent her to a couple of persons just to check them out. People who have worked like big tech companies, Facebook, Meta, Microsoft, Spotify, right? So if you're applying to big tech companies, then you need mentorship or you need guidance. You need to talk to somebody who has worked there, especially a Nigerian who has worked there, that can give you some tips and tricks and all of that to get the job. But my recommendation is to put more energy on startups and growth stage companies. Right? Put more energy on startups and growth stage companies. For LinkedIn, set up job alerts. Right? Set up job alerts for LinkedIn. Factor in your location, experience level, remote, hybrid, etc., etc. So fine-tune your LinkedIn search bar and set up job alerts, right? Then you want to pick 1 or 2 job sites that you can check 2 or 3 times a week. Pick 1 or 2 job sites that you can check 2 or 3 times a week, right? And then my most important rule is always read and understand the JD before applying. Don't just read. Anyway, I don't want to go back again. That thing stresses me out whenever I think about it, that somebody just sees a job and just sends their CV without even reading the JD, without even understanding. Always read and understand the JD before applying to any job. And then focus on quality applications. Apply to jobs where you can do at least 60% of the responsibilities or the qualifications required in the JD. Obviously, like I've said, always tailor your CV to JD. Right? Always tailor your CV to suit each JD. You know, the funny thing is that the steps to get a job are silly simple. Everything here, there are simple things to do. The issue is that people are either not consistent or they are not patient enough. That's where some people issue are. Some people are not consistent. Maybe they just do it for a short period of time and then they stop, right? We all know you cannot get the first job you apply for. If you get the first job you apply for, you are extremely lucky. But most people don't have that kind of luck, right? Many of us are going to hustle a bit to get our jobs, which is normal, right? So, but understanding that you want to be consistent in taking these steps is what matters the most, right? So it's what matters the most. So, and all of these things here, I'm not even sure they are new things to you. And you can see that I did not see anything revolutionary. I did not see anything that is banging, or I did not bring any honest, I don't bring any special rema from heaven. They are all things that you all know. The question is how you do it and how consistent that you do it. Right? And let me put this here. For every interview, expect the best and also expect the worst. I don't know why you go into interview and you are too optimistic or too pessimistic. Just expect the best and the worst. Don't be too emotional about the outcome. If it goes well, celebrate it. If it does not go well, learn from it. That's why I asked the question. How many people used to ask questions? Why? See, if you get a rejection email, one of the simplest things you can do is to send them an email back and say, oh, thank you so much for sending me this email, even though I am disappointed that I was not selected for the role, right? Can you tell me why I was not selected for the role? I had high expectation for the role. Never ever take a rejection email and you don't send them an email back to ask for why you are not selected. Never ever do it. Always, except they don't reply your email back, always make sure that when the company says, oh, we are sorry, we have found another candidate, or you did not meet our criteria, blah, blah, blah. Thank them. Oh, thank you so much. Even though I had high expectation for this role, and I was super excited and looking forward to the positive feedback. But can you share with me what are the major things that I didn't do so well, and what would you advise me to do better on? Send the message back to the company. Simple messages like that back to the companies that give you rejection mail can be the difference between seeing the mistakes that you are making and not seeing the mistakes they are making. Some of you, it's not because you're not even doing the right things. You're just making some little mistake. maybe your composure or your confidence, right? Oh, some rejection emails always come with do not reply. So what do we do? Now, for those that come with do not reply, right, what you do or what I have done, but most of my own emails I can always reply immediately, right? But in that kind of situation, really, in that kind of situation, that's why I said, have I had an experience like that? No, I've not. But in that kind of situation, that's why I said you can do this thing. That's why I said follow the CEO, go and check their CEO on social media, on LinkedIn, right? So that you can have somebody you can even send a DM to and say, I applied though, but they did not give me the job, and I wanted to know why I was not given the job. But again, what I've personally done is emails. I've not really done sending them a message on LinkedIn and saying, oh, why didn't they give me the job? What I've personally done is emails, right? I will always send an email and say, oh, why was I not chosen? And then some will reply, some will not reply, which is fine. But me, I've done my part because I always want to learn from jobs where I was not given the job, right? So for example, now, in my experience, I've had people say, oh, it was because they had a much more experienced candidate. I think I've had that more experienced candidate notes. I've also had a note of they wanted someone with a specific skill set, which I did not have. So you see that at the end of the day, some of those jobs that they are doing lamentation for, the truth is that you are not the best person for the job. Can you see that? And you should not be pained. Why should you be pained over a job that you are not the best person for the job? You see that some of the things that many of us give ourselves headache on top is because we are not being realistic with ourselves. Now, when I send a message to somebody and the person says, oh, it's because you don't have ABC skill sets, even though you have XYZ skill set, but we needed this ABC skill set more than your XYZ skill set. That's why you were not selected for the job. So we had to go with the candidate that had the ABC skill set. Why should I be pained? I've learned that lesson that, okay, it's because I don't have this ABC skill set. The next thing I should be asking myself is, how can I learn this ABC skill set just in case another company requires that skill set from me? Simple. Right? So now you now start going into lamentation. I applied, did not give me a job. They are just sending me rejection email. Somebody told me she has received maybe 10 or 12 rejection emails. I asked her, how many of them have you sent back to them that, oh, why do you not choose me? She said, none. None. Like a whole none. Not even reach out to one to ask them why. And you're doing lamentation. You don't have any mouth to talk again because you are doing lamentation, you've not even asked why. Right? So for stewards, I don't know. I've not done reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn because of job. What I've done most times is email. But for all these non-reply emails, then you just have to find a way around it. Either you go on LinkedIn, find the email of the CEO or the HR manager. If you see that online, you can find anybody's data if you want to, right? Their email is going to be somewhere. They can send an email and say, oh, I was part of the board that was interviewed for this role. I was excited about the role. I had high expectation. I believed I performed well during the interview, but I was not selected for the role. But I would like to know what were the mistakes or what were the things that I didn't do so well in, so that I can learn from it and then know how best to do such or do better in another interview. Guess what? I had somebody that did this, right? And the company called the person back for an internship. They didn't give the person a job, but they gave the person an internship. This year, I had somebody that did this year. They didn't give the person the job, but they gave the person an opportunity to intern at the company. Just because the CEO felt that, no, was it the CEO now, the HR manager, or one of the managers that saw the email felt that the person was proactive enough to ask why. And so they said, okay, because you took that extra step, come and intern. Do you understand? Obviously, I'm not saying everybody who takes that extra step will now get internship, but Just take the extra step, learn what they, why did they not choose you? You should know why. Why was I not chosen? You should be able to say that, oh, this is why they didn't choose me, and then you know whether it's paying you or not. And most times you see that the reason why you are not chosen in a genuine situation will always be that you lacked something. And don't be pained when they say you lack something. You lack something, you lack something. You don't have it in. You don't have it. So the next thing that you're supposed to do is, okay, oh, even if it's paying you, take that pain and go and learn that thing that they say you don't have. It's as simple. Right? And that's why we say apply to jobs where you can do at least 60% of the responsibility, so that at least that reduces they telling you that you don't have the skill sets or you don't have certain knowledge. Because when you apply to jobs where you can do majority of the things that they are looking for, obviously reduces that, oh, you don't have certain skills, you don't have certain experience or certain something. It reduces all of that. So as I wind down, as I now put this conversation to a bed, getting a job involves taking calculated and strategic steps, right? Getting a good job, let me put that here, very important. Getting a good job involves taking calculated and strategic steps. Please don't take jama steps. Like my mom would say, jama. Don't take jama steps. Take calculated steps, strategic steps. Take steps that you know that if I apply to 10 jobs, and it's quality application, I am expecting 2 to 3 call-ups minimum. Right? I'm expecting because it's quality application. So my expectations are higher. But when you apply to 100 jobs that you don't even understand, you're just sending your CV. Guess what? You might not even know that you applied for the job safe. And you don't even know how to prepare for the interview. But when they call you for interview, you know how to prepare for the interview. Right? So you will never get great jobs by chance or luck or by doing try and error. You can say I put this high emoji there. You will never get great jobs by chance or by luck. Yes, some people are lucky, but truth is that luck is not a strategy. Luck, yes, some people are lucky, but luck is not a strategy. Right? So and I'm gonna wrap this conversation. There are only 2 things that matter to every organization, and I started with this, right? 2 things that matter to every organization right now: make more money, save more money. See, if you understand these 2 things, right, and you're able to show it in an interview, show it on your CV, right, you'll get more attention, you'll get more call-ups, you get more application to interview conversion rates. Make sure your CV is showing how you can help a company to make more money or how you can help a company to save more money. Anything that you do that enables these 2 things above will make you indispensable in any organization. I said it at the beginning of the session. Every other thing is potentially dispensable. So carry that at the back of your mind. So don't go into interviews and be saying, I can do A, I can do B, I can do C. Go into interview and say, for example now, you go into an interview and you say, oh, hello, my name is Olabanji. I'm excited to be in your midst today. If they ask you a question, imagine they ask you a question. Tell us about yourself. Let me answer this question. They ask you a question, and that question is always coming out in every interview. Oh, hi, tell us about yourself. Now, I'll give you 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, I answer like this. My name is Olabanji Ewenla. I'm a product manager. I have about 2 years of experience in product management, or I have about 1 year experience in product management. I'm skilled in doing user research, market research. I understand prioritization. I can create user flows, wireframe, roadmaps. I'm also versatile in Agile and Scrum terminologies. Excited about scenario. Now let's go to scenario 2. Scenario 2. Hi, tell us about yourself. Hi, my name is Olabanji Ewenla. I'm a product manager. I have about 2 years of experience in product management. Over the course of my career, I have been involved in working with organizations that have been doing 7-figure revenues every single month. At my previous place of work, in 1 year, a business turned over 300 billion in 1 year. And over the span of 12 months, we did over 300 billion in revenue. And I'm super excited to bring all of my experience working in that organization to your company. Tell me which scenario are you going to be? Tell me which scenario pick your interest more. Scenario 2. Is scenario 1 bad? No. You say, oh, you can do user research, you can do prioritization. But who is an interviewer going to listen to? Scenario 2. Oh, you worked at someone that did 300 billion in revenue over 12 months. Wow, that's interesting. They will ask you more. Okay, what happened? How did you guys do it? Obviously, you can be smart to say, oh, I cannot share the details of our strategy. That's how you show that you're smart. You can say something like, you don't have to tell them everything that you did there. You'll be smart. You can say, oh, okay, thank you for asking, but obviously I cannot share. This is a company detail, so I cannot share the details of our strategy and how we did that. But you could not just give them like tips, like just, okay, so we have built XYZ product to solve XYZ problem, but as you know, I cannot give you the details of all our strategy. You have hold their interest. Right? You have all their interests. Or let me give another scenario. Oh, my name is Olabanji Ewenla. I have about 2 years of experience in product management. Over the last 12 months in particular, instrumental in creating systems and structures within my previous organization that helped us to save about 20% in our operation costs or operation expenses. This third scenario is even still better than the first one because you are talking about saving money. Right? So imagine you're going into an interview and you're speaking in that direction. Let your energy be strong on anything that has to do with making money and saving money. Every other thing in between is just like Jara. It should be Jara on top. So when you introduce yourself and say, oh, I worked at a company that we did 300 billion in 12 months, or we did 1 billion in 6 months or something, it sounds more exciting to somebody else than saying, oh, I can create user research, I can create persona, I can write user stories and acceptance criteria. Yes, you can write those things. Any other person can also write those things. What makes you unique? The experiences that you have. Now, if you are here, you are a fresh graduate and you don't have any experience at all, obviously, then it means you have to go and gather your own experience, fortunately. But if you are here, you've worked at other companies, you've worked at other institutions, you've worked somewhere else, you've done other things. God, leverage the experience that you have. For example, now, if I am a Zenith Bank staff here, hey, any company I'm applying to, they go here. Honestly, I didn't even have to write the name of the bank. I'll just put it on my CV. I worked at a financial institution that did 1 trillion naira in profits in 2024. Oh, every place I'm applying to, they will hear that gist. Why? Because even if, obviously, I'm not the only person at Zenith. Zenith has God knows how many staff. But last year, Zenith Bank made 1 trillion in profits. That is good news. As a staff, even if I'm a marketer, even if I'm a customer service person at Zenith, that thing will be on my CV. My name is Olabanji Ewenla. I have about 2 years of experience, and in my previous organization, right, our company did 1 trillion in profits, and we did about 20 trillion in revenue. And I'm excited to bring up my experience and all the knowledge and expertise that I've gathered in that environment to bring it into your organization. I think somebody will not listen to you. That's sweeter than saying, I can do user research, I can do user persona, I can do, every other person can do those. What makes you unique is the experience. That's workings. Oh, yes, okay. Now, some people will now ask you, oh, what institution, obviously, so you cannot share details, obviously, right? And then, obviously, you can now go further. If they now want to ask and say, okay, what financial institution? You can say, okay, I used to work at Zenith Bank. Pretty much. But you cannot share the details of strategy. It's as simple. But you would have piqued their interest. That guy that worked at Zenith. Let's check that guy. Let's call him again. Let's see what experience that he has. Oh, that person that worked at UBA did 700 billion. Let's hear what he has. Do you get? So especially for you guys that have experience in any other thing, right? You've worked at a bank, you've worked at a company, you've worked at somewhere else. Even if the company has shut down, it is still an experience, right? For example, now, if somebody had worked at a company that has shut down, right, you can still use the result and say, oh, I used to work at a company where we did 1 trillion in revenue or something. Show that you have some kind of experience around making money, saving money. These two things would catch more recruiters and hiring managers' interest more than any other thing you would tell them that you can do. These two things will catch recruiters' interest more than any other thing that you can tell them that you can do. So, and I'll now use this point to wrap up. Right? I shared something on the group earlier, on the chat earlier. I said, some of you, your biggest problem is not even doing all of these things, right? Some of you, your biggest problem is lack of patience, right? Some of you lack of capacity. Some of you lack of tenacity. Now, tenacity means somebody that continues to try even when the person is having rejections, right? Tenacity is someone that continues to try even when the person is having rejections. Resilience, am I mixing it up? Because tenacity and resilience, they are not the same thing. They are similar, but they are not exactly the same, right? So tenacity means, I'm trying not to mix it up. So tenacity means, yeah, you don't give up. Resilience means even when you get rejection, you continue to try. Yes, I think that is it. So tenacity means, you don't give up, right? Resilience means even when you get rejections, you continue to try. For many of you, that might just be your challenge, right? So some of you are not patient, and this patience one, maybe it's a conversation for another day, but some people are not patient. See, you will make money in this tech thing. Money, no, they run away. Right? The money is not running away. For example, some of you, I know, and I always say that, yes, some of you maybe need to take a salary cut. I use the word maybe, right? Just so that you can kick off. But some of you are not taking the salary cuts because you're like, oh, and I understand, to be honest, I understand that angle. I'm not a fan of cutting down your salary too much, right? Because life is already expensive. Nigeria is expensive. So, but you have to find like a balance. There have to just be a way whereby, okay, even if you don't want to leave your current job, can you find startups where you can work for free and then still be holding on to your current job that you're making good money from, so that you are building experience and expertise, so that by the time you are ready to leave your current job, you can leave that job and still be able to maintain that salary range that you are earning as a product manager. So some of you need to be patient. Some of you need to give yourself time, right? Some of you need to build capacity. Some of you need to go and take some courses. Some of you need to be tenacious, where you don't give up. I know it's an aspire to perspire conversation, but that's the truth. You don't give up, right? And then some of you need to be resilient. When you get rejection, go and send another application. Rejection is part of the game. I can see, I've never said anything in this session about, if you apply, you will get all the jobs you applied for. It's not possible to get all the jobs you applied for, except you're extremely lucky, right? Even with all of these things that I've just shared with you guys, doesn't mean every job you apply to now you will get it. It's not possible, right? It doesn't mean every job you apply to, you're going to get it at the end of the day. So, be patient, be resilient, build capacity, and also be tenacious, right? Don't give up too easily. And I'll just share a story of why you should not give up. True life story. I've shared it in some circles before, but I'll share it here again. I had this guy that we trained at Enoverlab in 2022, right? In 2022. When he took his training in 2022 at Enoverlab 3 years ago, he Funny thing is that he borrowed money to even take the training, right? Because the guy was broke. And fortunately and unfortunately, it took that guy about 9 months before he could get a startup job. But the guy kept trying. It took him 9 months, almost a year. Now, when he got that startup job, I think we were paying him maybe 120K or 150K. It was a very small salary, right? But the guy started after waiting like 9 months. Now, 3 months after he got that 120K job, he got a job in Europe. 3 months after. Just literally like a year after. And that guy right now has been working in Europe. I've been working in Europe, specifically in Germany. Has been working in Germany. He's earning about 7,000 euros every single month. That's about 81,000 euros per annum since 2023. He's training at Enoverlab in 2022, right? Then 2023, used about early 2022. He got his first job late 2022, 8 later 9 months, right? But during that 8 to 9 months, where he was, I'll say tenacious, he didn't give up, right? Working on projects. So he had like, so it was not like it was not doing anything at all. He didn't just have an actual PM job, but it was applying. They were giving him negative feedback. He was applying. They were giving him negative feedback. He was applying, but he kept applying. He didn't stop. And I will not be here to tell you that the guy was not frustrated at some time. Yes, the guy was frustrated at some time. The guy was pissed, and all of that. And that's how it was a personal conversation, right? It was pissed, it was sad, it was crazy, it was disappointed, and all of that. He had high expectation, but the guy still continued trying. 9 months, he got his first PM job after a whole 9 months. 120K. Crazy. After waiting 9 months. But he started. 3 months after that, he got a job in Germany. The guy has been in Germany now. He relocated to Germany and almost August, September 2023. It's 7,000 euros every single month. 81,000 euros per annum. Sharp money. But it took him 1 year to get to that point. Now, I use that guy's story just to put around this conversation of resilience and persistence and tenacity, right? Right now, the guy is in Germany. In short, the last time we spoke, he's about to do his master's, right? And meanwhile, he didn't travel there on student visa. Traveled there on work visa, right? Right now he's in Germany. The funny thing is that the guy had a girlfriend that left him because he didn't have money when he was taking Enoverlab training. Then Babana relocated. Then the girlfriend now want to come back. But that's a gist for another day. Oh God. Anyways, but yeah, my point is just I use that guy's story because I don't want to share his name. It's a story of resilience. The guy tried, not because it was easy. The guy lamented. Lamentation is normal. You can be sad that you're not getting something, but the guy kept trying. I think that's the moral of the story. The guy kept trying. Kept trying. Got a job, not so much of a good salary after waiting 8 months. But again, why am I even saying it's not much of a good salary? 120K in 2022 is bigger than 120K in 2025. I'm sure we all know that because dollar in 2022 and 2025 is not the same thing. What your 120K can buy in 2022 is not the same thing that 120K can buy in 2025. But still, that was not like his expectation because he had more. But long story short was that 3 months after getting into that startup, he got that job in Germany. And like they say, the rest is history. He's been in Germany now since 2023. right? I think he has even started his master's, because the last time we spoke, he was about to start his master's, right? So resilience, right? So some people might take that long, some people might take a shorter time, but the most important thing there is continue to build your capacity, continue to try, continue to try, continue to try. And when I say try, please don't just be doing the same thing and be getting same results. That's why we say build capacity. Learn what you're not doing well. Build capacity so you can be better not doing well. Then try again. That's how to try. Please don't just be trying blindly. So when you apply to a job, if you're not getting the job, ask why you're not getting the job. Go and learn that thing that they say you cannot do. Then go back again. Somebody tell you, oh, so but for example, now, if you get 10 rejections, which is very possible, make sure that you reach out to all the 10 companies and ask them, why did they not choose you? Get all the reason why they didn't choose you. Go and build capacity on all of those things. Then go back again and go and apply to a different set of companies. Right? And I know it might not be easy every time. And I know that part. Right? But the truth is that we cannot keep saying, oh, it's not easy. Life is not easy for anybody. And that's the truth. All of us, including even the big person that you're looking at today. For example, I saw Davido is the biggest or one of the biggest Afrobeat artists in the world. When I saw his schedule for his live concerts, I shaken. When I saw his schedule for his live concerts, anybody that follows Davido, you would have seen Davido's schedule for his live concerts. It's not beans, like back to back. You might think it's enjoyment. That is their own level of stress. That's their own. If you ask Davido now, if it's possible for him to just chill at home and not do those live concerts, I can tell you, he too will tell you that, Omo, Baba, let me sit down at home. When I saw his schedule, I was like, my life is not easy for everybody. Even the biggest superstar in the world, or one of the biggest Afrobeat superstar in the world, you see his crazy schedule for live concerts, and like, Baba has to travel, and even though he's flying private jets, it's still not easy. Go to Paris, go to Italy, go to US, go to UK to perform. And between the timeline of performance is just a couple of days or a few weeks. And then he has to do rehearsals. He has to still has to go and do clinical. So when you look at some of them, you think it's just by, or some people think it's just that, oh, because they are big. It's not just because that's their own struggle. Right? So at the end of the day, everybody is going through a struggle. So, and I'll use this to wrap up. Don't take your struggle to get a job personal. Don't take it personal. Like I said, even me, I've been looking for a job now for like 5 months. Right? But I don't take it personal. And it's not because I am doing something. It's because I just know that, okay, one, the job is going to come. Two, I want to get like something really quality. Right? For example, now me train person when they do 7,000 euros. Even me, I've not earned 7,000 euros before. But I was involved in training the person that is earning 7,000 euros. So even if I have to wise up and tell myself that, Banji, wise up. Now your people when you train, now they do 7,000 euros, $5,000, $4,000, right? I'm like, guy, wise up, because so that you don't carry last. So that's what, even me, I'm at the phase where I am in right now, and I'm asking myself, I need to find, if I'm training and helping other people to get better opportunities, then it means I too can get better opportunities, right? So I've been putting my eyes on the ground, I've been putting my ears on the ground, just trying to look for like quality opportunities, because I don't just want to get to opportunities, right? And that's why, for example, you see me applying to certain type of companies, right? Already, I've collected gas bills from Money Points in December. I've collected gas bills from Netflix. I did an application to Netflix, right? I've collected gas bills. So rejection is normal part of the game. You cannot run away from it. You will collect rejection. But the thing is, always make sure that you are learning from the entire process. And then you continue to be resilient. Okay, no wahala, they did not give me. I'll continue to learn. What is the thing that I did not do well? Figure out the thing that you did not do well. Make sure you are better in that thing. Go back to apply again. Figure out the thing that you not do it. So, and you continue to try. And I know, again, like I said, I know it can be frustrating, it can be tiring. You can even be hearing other people getting jobs. All of us time is also not the same. That's why I say lack of patience is some of us problem, right? Some of us are not patient enough. Everybody's time is not the same, right? All of us, we are here now, we are talking together. Some of you might get jobs. Some of us might take us time to get that same job, right? Just like the guy that took 12 months to get a job or 9 months to get his first job, right? At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you eventually get that opportunity. But during that entire process, make sure that you are always learning. Make sure you're always learning. Don't complain. Don't complain. You can lament, you can be sad. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to be happy every single time. You can be sad, you can lament about why you're not getting job, but don't complain. Lamentation is different from complaining. Lamenting is like you're not happy about something, and so you're lamenting about that thing. That's normal. You can lament about something you're not happy about. But complaining is what I don't like. You not start complaining. All you're doing is complaining. You're not even improving yourself. Because that's what all people know how to do. I'm not getting a job. Hey, Nigeria is bad. Hey, economy is bad. Hey, there's no job outside. Hey, this one. Hey, all you know how to do is complain. How do you know how to get jobs? So we are not even working on yourself. If all you know how to do is complaining. So please, let this be the end to complaining. Focus on building your capacity. Focus on building your skills. But very importantly, I use this to bring this message to a wrap. We are applying to any company, when you're sending your application, when you're in an interview, prioritize talking about how you can help them to make more money or how you can help them to save more money. Prioritize this. That's what every company is looking for now. Either you help them to make or you help them to save. Every other thing in between is dispensable, which means can be irrelevant, even if you think it is relevant. Make money, save money are the two biggest things that every company needs right now. That's why they are letting people go. That's why they are using AI. When you hear companies say they are using AI to replace human being, why do you think companies are using AI to replace human being? It's not because they want to save money. It's to save money. Instead of hiring 1,000 staff, they get a robot that does the same work. That saves them paying 1,000 salaries. So instead of you being angry that, oh, robots are taking your job, it is normal. Robots are going to take your job, whether you like it or not. So focus on the part of your job that they cannot take. Right? Make money, save money, or learn how to use the robot to help companies to save money. Because those of us who know how to use AI, we are the ones that are going to be more relevant. Those that are complaining about AI, they will not be relevant. So learn how to use AI. Right? Make money, save money, make money. Let that be ringing in your head. If you are going into any interview, think about it. What can I do to help this company to make money? What can I do to help this company to save money? If you are sending your CV, let your CV show how you can help them to make money. And the funny thing is that the only way you can know these things is if you've done your tear down. You can see how all these things are interwoven. If you've done your tear down, if you've done your research on the company, if you've seen the negative reviews, for example, now if you go to an interview and you've seen the negative reviews and you just tell them, oh, I saw some negative reviews. These are my thoughts. I believe that if you execute this way, it can increase your revenue. They will listen to you. I'm not saying they will give you the job guaranteed, but at least they will listen to you and you will even feel more confident. You feel more proud of yourself, which is all that matters at the end of the day. Because your own self-confidence, like, I can tell them this. And you know that there are sometimes when I say some things, I'm like, Angie, you're smart. Let me hype myself. If you don't hype me, I'll hype myself, right? When I say some things at team meetings, I'm like, no, you know something. I hype myself. I'm telling myself because I know something. And I'm not shy about saying that I know something. I know something. That is it. If you hate it, that is on you. But me, I know that I know something. I can be able to say it in a meeting, communicate it to somebody, and all of that. So, this is the end of this conversation. I hope that you've learned one or two things. We've been talking for like 2 hours plus, right? So, I hope you've learned one or two things that you can start to execute. A summary of this entire conversation. If I want to summarize why you're not getting a job and what you need to do right now is, in summary, learn. In summary, learn what you're not doing well when it comes to applying for jobs. Learn what you are doing well. Improve on the things you are not doing well when it comes to applying for jobs, when it comes to interviews. Improve on those things. And then focus on showing evidence. Show workings. Don't talk too much. Show workings. Don't, I can do wireframe. I can do it. No. Show workings. Tell somebody I worked at a company that did 1 trillion. That sounds smarter than I can do wireframe, I can do user flow. And if you've not worked at the company that has done something like that, no wahala. How can you help them to save money? And by the way, it doesn't have to be big money. For example, if you work at a company that did 10 million naira in a month, oh, it's our money, right? It's that the bigger the money, the more it catches people's attention, right? So save money is also there as well. Look at that angle as well. So that'll be all. We'll share the recording to this session. I think we'll upload it on Enoverlab YouTube channel so that anybody can always have access to it. But I want you to take action from today, and I want you to make improvements from today. Don't be the lament. Don't be the, you can lament. You can feel sad about not getting opportunities, but don't be the complainer. Don't be the complainer. Complaining is not going to get you anywhere. Complaining is not going to get you the job. Complaining is not even going to make you money. I don't know why people complain too much. It doesn't get you job. Doesn't make you money, doesn't add value to your life. It just complaining stresses you out. So that thing you're complaining of, can you do something about it? Simple. You're not getting a job. Okay, why are you not getting a job? For example, if you are here, you've applied to jobs and nobody's even calling you for interview. You should be asking, why are they not calling me for interview? That should be the next ideal question. Not that you're not going to start complaining. I applied to 20 jobs. None of them give me interview. Have you asked, why are you not being called for interview? Have you done a retrospective to even ask, why did they not call you? Because it is you, it's a you problem most times. It's not a them problem. It's a you problem most times. If you've done your own retrospective, you'd have figured out, it was because I did this, so next time I'm going to do it this way. Oh, it was because I did this, so next time. And before you know, you're tweaking, you're getting better, you're tweaking, you're getting better. And boom, you get a solid job and you walk your way. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope that this has been beneficial to you. I'm already hungry because I've been talking for almost 3 hours. I need to go and find something to eat. Thank you so much, guys. Can I take 1 or 2 questions? 1 or 2 questions. Anybody that has questions? Let me take 1 or 2 questions. This is 7:59. 1 or 2 questions. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so I'm assuming that there are no questions, right? All right. So I leave you with this quote again. Anything that you do, okay, Deborah is raising her hands, that enables making money and saving money should be your biggest priority. Honestly, this making money and saving money is not just for product managers, it's for any career. Deborah, quickly go ahead, Deborah. Vivian, you said, Vivian, anybody who does not attend Enoverlab, they can join the open source internship. Just send the message to forward to me. If the person is a product manager, and we can validate the person's product management training, because we have to be able to validate. There are some schools that if you take training from them, we know, okay, you are going to be a solid talent. But if it's not those particular schools, then we might not. The person might have to take our training. But reach out to Fort Tommy, she'll be able to guide. Yeah, Deborah, please go ahead. Deborah, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Olabanji and everybody. Can you hear me?
Hi, Deborah. Are you speaking? I see you're unmuted, but I can't hear you, though. But I can see that you are unmuted, but I can't hear you.
I am saying something. Can you hear me?
Hi, Deborah.
Can you hear me? Hi, good evening.
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I have a question, and my question is quite obvious because I'm just starting, and I want to find out if I am to, let's say I'm going for an interview now, and
Yeah.
I obviously don't have experience. The
Yes.
project I will likely have is the project that you have given us already, and probably
Right.
the one we are about to do during the internship. So
Right.
are those ones enough to, carry me to an interview?
Yes, if you have two projects is enough to get you started, right? The sweet spot is three, right? But with two, you can, in short, with one, you can start to look for an opportunity, right? With two, it gets you forward, right? So, but why, you're not sure if you get the job. So have it at the back of mind that you still want to do another project. So my sweet spot is always like three projects, three different
Okay.
projects. That's like the sweet spot. But two is fine. Even one is fine. You can apply to job with one project safe.
So
Right.
what if this project that I have done so far, have not generated any revenue that I could use, but like,
It shows, yeah, it doesn't matter. It shows that at least you can do the product management process.
okay.
Yeah, it shows that you can do the product management process. That's what it does. Right. So even though it has not generated any revenue, at least it shows that you can do the product management process. For anything around revenue, you can always use your previous company, right? For anything around revenue, right? So don't use your product management experience, right? If you're having to do like revenue, focus more on other experiences that you have. Do you get? So maybe your experience in customer service or customer experience, right? Which is very relevant to product management. For example, now you can say, oh, during my time at my previous organization, I was able to I was able to increase customer satisfaction score by 20% or 30%. These are like kind of things that people want to hear, even though it is not product management per se, but because it's related to product management, it still counts.
Okay.
Yeah. So leverage your other experience. Leverage your other, and I know you have other experiences in customer experience and customer service. So leverage that one more. While for your projects, you now do your projects for your product management. While for your anything that has to do with making money, saving money, leverage your other experience and transferable skills. Then projects will now focus on like you knowing your product management processes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Adidamola. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a wonderful journey so far. My
Well,
question is this, in the process of applying, I've actually encountered some cases whereby we asked to share portfolios or maybe where we posted our projects and all that. And
yeah.
so I have two questions. Number one is which platform would you recommend if one is to post projects that has been done? And then the second thing is like when I was doing my capstone project for Enoverlab,
Yes.
it was actually an app, and I'm scared. What if I post it and somebody comes out? It hasn't been launched, and somebody comes to steal the app, the whole idea before I later launch it. So these are my two questions. One, which place can I post my projects? That's my to have a portfolio. And two, how can I secure it so that it won't be stolen? Thank you, sir.
All right. Awesome. So I'm sharing a link right now. VZY. It's like a portfolio website creator for creating portfolios. So you will see different portfolio templates here. Let me drop the link on the chat section. VZY. Just pick any of their templates and then fine tune it to suit your taste, suit what you like, what makes sense for you, right? You can use VZY. Can you all see my screen? I've dropped the link on the chat section. So for creating portfolios and stuff, so just pick any of the templates and then you follow through and then just edit accordingly. Number two question is if you have an idea. Remember, your idea is just a project. That's number one. Your idea is just a project. Number two is that ideas are only worth a dime until it is executed. So if somebody steals your idea Now for execution, we go know whether the person sabi. Now, if somebody steals your idea, right? I don't think there's a time when I used to be scared about that, but I'm no longer scared about somebody stealing my idea. Why? Because it's not about having the idea, it's about being able to execute the idea. Executing the idea is more important than having the idea. So don't be scared about people taking your idea, right? If they can execute the idea better than you, then it means that they are worthy of the idea. If you cannot execute the idea like they would, then accept your reality. But if somebody steals your idea and the person cannot execute it, then obviously the person will lose. The person is not going to gain anything, right? And have it at the back of mind. Don't bother yourself about somebody stealing your idea. Don't bother about somebody stealing your idea. Focus more on executing your idea, right? Execution is more important than idea anytime, any day, right? Execution is more important than idea anytime, any day, right? Go and watch some movie I will recommend you go and watch. You're looking for business. I recommend everybody to go and watch. Very Netflix. I'm looking for a movie to watch this holiday. Go and watch business about building. I think I'm like being stolen. There's this guy. Can you guys hear me?
Mr. B, we can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. So I was saying that go and watch Mad Unicorn on Netflix. I just finished the movie. It's a movie about building businesses, building tech products, right? And being, you see about a CEO, you see how the CEO hired a CFO, a CTO. Very interesting movie. I just finished it yesterday, right? Mad Unicorn on Netflix, right? Amazing movie about tech, about business, about building tech products. He also answers this Adidamola question because that in the movie, his idea was copied, his idea was stolen. However, he still executed the idea better than the person who did. So eventually, the guy built the first billion-dollar business in Thailand. So that movie, Mad Unicorn on Netflix, I recommend it for anybody in tech. Built the first billion-dollar unicorn in Thailand. Imagine Thailand, though. So the movie is based on a true life story of the first unicorn in Thailand, right? So, and his idea was also copied. But then the way he executed the idea was better than the person who copied the idea. Even though the person who copied the idea had more money, had more resources, but execution is always king. So please don't stress your mind about, my idea is going to be copied. Don't stress yourself about it, Damola. Focus on execution. If somebody can execute the idea better than you, the person is worthy of making the money that they make from executing the idea. If you can execute the idea better, then obviously it means you are worthy of executing the idea. So don't be too tied to your idea, right? So focus more on execution. Abimbola said we should have like 3 to 5 projects. Can we use this AI code free design to achieve that? Almost create something with a team. No, you don't have to create something with a team for your project. So you do not always have to create something with a team. Having a team is a plus, but does not have to always be a team. You can use this VYZ AI templates, right? You can use this VYZ AI templates. You can use this for portfolio. You can also use it for like MVP. You can use this to create an MVP. You can use it to create a portfolio as well. So you can see portfolio here. You can create like an MVP website with this, website builder, right? So you can create a portfolio. You can create a website with this. So, all right, guys, let's call it a wrap. It's been an interesting conversation so far. Thank you so much, everyone. Have yourself a good night rest. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your holidays. We'll share the recording maybe tomorrow. I think the recording will be ready by tomorrow. So we'll share with you guys tomorrow if anybody wants to catch up. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye, everyone. Welcome, Gabriel. Thank you, Vivian, Abimbola, Mutsunrayo, Damola, Didamola, Gabriel. Okay. Okay. So recording.